All right, here we go. Today we have OG Neckbone from Mob Piru doing his first ever interview. Neckbone was close to Tupac during his time at Death Row and was involved in the fight at the MGM with Tupac and Orlando Anderson, which unfortunately led to Tupac's death a few hours later. Neckbone, welcome to VladTV.
What's up, Vlad? Thank you.
Well, I want to start in the very beginning. Grew up in Compton.
Yep, grew up in Compton.
So you were born in 1964.
Yep.
So this is before the gangs and everything else like that.
It's always been gangs, it just wasn't Crips and Bloods.
Okay, because originally there were the Piru Street Boys.
Yes, sir, Piru Street Boys, one of the original gangs of Compton before the Crips.
That was what, 72?
They was in like 69.
69?
Because it was just a street.
Aha,
Piru
Piru
Street. I'm
Street.
saying? It was just Piru Street, and it was the people that lived around in that street, the young brothers that lived around in that area. Then it spread it out. It had spread it out through Compton, but it wasn't a red and blue thing going on yet, even though they said blood, because blood was just the basic word. You know, they came back from Vietnam, everybody saying blood and young blood, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the basic word for just about every black it was at the time for a little second.
Right. When did the Crips start showing up in Compton?
Around 72, 71, 72.
Okay.
They was wild too.
And originally the Crips and the Bloods were cool.
When they came to Compton, it was a mingle thing. Like everybody was trying to be cool a little bit, but the Crips, they just swept. And the more people you got and the more areas you take over, the more power you get. You know what I'm saying? So it became a situation where they was at odds because y'all ain't running this way, y'all ain't running us. But we let y'all in, it's conflict now. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't work out.
Okay.
With the Piru Street Boys and the Crips, it just didn't work out.
Was there something that sparked the beef between the Crips and the Bloods during that time?
Well, like I say, the Crips took over a lot of stuff. It was a lot of blood hoods already. Then the Crips came and took over a lot of stuff. They swept the nation. You got a generational movement thing type going, you know what I'm saying? Still going on today. Certain generations, like, they decided you got certain blood gangs was already there. Then when the Crips came out, they was automatically like, okay, well, this ain't gonna work because they clashing. We want this and they want that, so they fighting. They doing a lot of fighting and struggling, you know what I'm saying? It just control areas, Los Angeles and Compton, but it took place in Los Angeles because it was right around the corner from my grandma. My grandma stayed on 83rd between Wadsworth and Central.
Okay, so you met Suge in 7th grade.
Well, I was in the 7th grade, he was in the 6th grade.
Okay. He was a little younger.
He was younger.
Yeah.
About the same, it's still like the same though.
Right,
Yeah.
So over the years, were you guys around each other a lot or not really?
Well, in our neighborhood, kids came out and played, and like I came from going to Mark Twain Elementary around the corner. I didn't really get to grow up with the foster kids. You know, the name of the elementary was Foster. Not that they was foster kids. The name of the elementary was Stephen Foster. I went to Mark Twain. That was like two schools that had one side of the neighborhood, and they school had the other side of the neighborhood. So once I got in the 7th grade, I started blending in with the kids that went to Foster Elementary. Because I was going up there playing around, you know, after school. Then I went to Whaley with all them kids that came from Foster Elementary, and some came from Little Roosevelt Elementary. So that's how I got familiar, and we would be up at Foster playing, having fun. We'd be at the park swimming, kids running around the neighborhood, because now I'm on this side of the neighborhood where Suge and them grew up at. It's all one neighborhood, but it was split in half by the elementaries.
Did you know Keffe D around this time too?
I met Keffe D around about the 8th grade, playing Pop Warner football.
Okay, around the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I played with the big boys. I was a little guy playing with the big boys. They was all playing pee-wees, and I was playing junior band when I was 12. But I knew of everybody because my relatives played Whitty, Simon Goss, Kenny Goss. You know what I mean? My uncle, Simon Goss Sr., helped start Greater Compton football. So that's a whole nother intimate in Compton through sports we knew a lot of people from on that side of town when we was kids, before everybody started gangbanging.
Well, originally it was Ludus Park Piru. Right?
Originally it was Piru Street.
Right.
Piru Street went hooked up with Ludus Park.
Aha.
And became Ludus Park Piru.
Got it. Now, in Ludus Park Piru, there was a clique called Mob.
Yeah, okay, on our side, you got the park on one side of Rosecrans, and you had Ludus Park on our side of Rosecrans. But within that Ludus Park vicinity, on our side of Rosecrans, we had some guys that was about straight money. And one of them was like pushing a line about the money. So, you know, his family was affiliated with Pirus in the neighborhood, youngsters though. You know what I'm saying? And he teamed up with them and put them in the game and showed how to get some real money. So that's when the mob started. Big Teddy the one started the mob, but he didn't start Mob Piru, but it was Pirus involved, little youngsters.
Okay, so eventually that became Mob Piru.
As the generations went past, it was Eastside Mob, but we was Eastside Pirus too. But the clique was small. Our neighborhood was Ludus Park, and we had formed Mob Piru from just the homies that was the mob. And as generations went on, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. As the kids started growing up, more of the youngs start gravitating toward the mob.
Right, and you're one of the original Mob Piru members?
I'm like a between first and second generation. I was there when the first generation was doing their thing. I watched them and learned from them. I sit back and observe and be around them, and they was pretty tough, and they took on the mentality of being from the mob, which was like money Pirus, you know what I'm saying? Before everybody was trying to make money, that's how it was. So I was being a part of that just from looking at them and knowing them. And then I started participating in activities because I wanted money and I wanted, you know what I mean? But we running into situations with Crips. You know what I'm saying? Everything on that side, we didn't get along with them. So we Pirus, all our big brothers, they was Pirus, so it all formulated into Mob Piru. But it all started as the mob, just a little clique in Ludus Park on our side of the tracks.
So you were around 15 years old when you joined?
Well, I can't even say I joined because it wasn't like it was a gang and I seen the gang and said, I want to be a part of y'all. We all grew up in it together.
Aha.
You know what I'm saying? We went from phases in life together.
So you never jumped in or anything else like that?
Nah, I wasn't jumped in because I had too many fights. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got jumped in, fighting. Because that's how they gonna test you in the neighborhood. They gonna test you, and your name gonna be understood to be a certain type of individual. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna take on the responsibilities of the neighborhood, and you gonna prove that. And once you prove that, ain't no jumping. That's your jumping. I jump in took years. It wasn't just no, okay, let's go whoop his ass. Now you're part of the gang. No, you had to be raised and orientated to be a part of where we come from. To be a real one.
Well, at age 15, you get arrested for a stolen bike and a box full of jewelry.
Yeah.
So you were robbing houses or?
Man, it was on, man. Wherever the money was at, that's what we was doing. But I didn't mess around in the neighborhood. I didn't mess with the neighbors. I didn't do nothing. I wasn't with that. We didn't even mess with blacks when I was a kid. We didn't even mess with, we went out and did our thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was on my way to school one morning, going out Compton Boulevard. I was going to Dominguez, and the sheriffs was known for, you know, jacking the homies, sweating, okay, you going to jail today, you going to jail. So they caught me on the beach cruiser on the way to school. This beach cruiser come up stolen, and I had a pocket full of jewelry in a little box because I used to go to this little scrap metal place and sell my jewelry to this white cat over there. He used to give me nice little something for my stuff, you know? Mm-hmm. So one of the mornings I got caught and they took me down and I wound up going to juvenile hall and all that, but it wasn't no case. I did the little time, they call it like incardio time. What was it? I stayed about like 4 months and got out.
Okay.
Lost Petrinos.
All right. So you get arrested that one time, you do juvie.
Yep.
And you continue to get arrested?
Continue to get arrested.
Okay. So what ages are you getting arrested after that?
15, 16, 17, 18. I start, first time I hit the county jail, I was like 18.
Okay, and these arrests are for what?
I caught a little robbery case out in Torrance. I was in a boys' home. And I was just too wild, you know what I'm saying? I used to hit the gate. I was going to this trade school out in Torrance. You know what I'm saying? It's like a furlough thing to go to trade school. I played sports up in there. I was real good at sports. You know, I had scholarship offers. I used to be in the LA Times, you know, in this boys' home in Inglewood called Masada. And once I start going to the trade school, yeah, I start hitting licks on the way to school. I whoop and then go to school, then catch the bus back to the facility. And I got busted. One day, I got busted. The people looked, I come to do my thing, and we looked at each other eye to eye. And I tried to hit the gate and get away. And plain clothes pulled up on me and jumped out with their pistols, get on the ground. Then after that, I caught the robbery in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Like about 6 months later. You know, I was out there, man, you know what I mean? Had a 6'5" Chevy, young, wild, gang banging, on one. You know what I'm saying? I always left up out the neighborhood. I didn't mess with the neighborhood. And so yeah, I got caught. I got in a high-speed chase out there and ran into a dead end with like 5 sheriff cars behind me. You know what I'm saying? I got my homeboy with me. You know, he older than me. And
You were doing the OJ through LA?
Man, and ran into a dead end.
5 cars behind you?
And ran into a dead end. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't had no choice but to get out. We had 4 or 5 cars on us. But I had everything stashed. I had the money stash, I had the jury stash, and I had the pistol stash. And the dude that was with me told on me. Police came to my car. They put us in separate cars. And the police came and told me, if you don't tell us where the shit at, because they already had the victim was in the back seat of the car. If you don't tell us where the shit at, I did like seven little licks. You going to county hospital. Man, I ain't got nothing to say. So he went to the other car with the other cat that was with me, and then I could hear him tearing my car up, and I hear the gun hit the street. He came back and stood me up like in my seat, handcuffed behind my back, and tried to knock me out, but he couldn't. He was hot. He had his gloves on and everything. He bow. And I was just taking them shots. You know what I'm saying? They took me down, and my crime, he wound up turning state evidence on me. And then I went to the pen. I had some robberies in Long Beach, and I had that in Beverly Hills, and I took the deal for 5 and went to the pen.
5 years?
5 years.
In the state?
In the state.
Okay, so now you're with the big boys.
I'm with the big boys.
Okay. During that time, what do you think was the most serious situation you got into?
In the pen?
Yeah.
Well, I was at Folsom. I went from Susanville, Jamestown, San Quentin, Chino, getting into shit, because everywhere I went, I was outnumbered.
Right, mostly Mexicans, right?
No, this time the Crips was always on me.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay strong or take your punk ass home, one of the two. And I'm finna stay strong until the police say, okay, you know what I'm saying? All that made me work my way up to being in Folsom. You know, I hit Folsom like October 1984. And that was, as soon as we got off the bus, the buzzers went off, the horns was going off, we hear the guns in one building, and all the police ran from down 5 count gate, not the 5 building count gate, to one building. When they came back, they had a motherfucker, a brother, he had a thing this long going this side, coming out that side.
Damn, a sword.
A sword.
Okay.
Folsom wasn't no joke. When I was there, it was the real Folsom, the shit kicker days. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to name no names, but it was on, man. It was on, and it was racial. Well, we got into it with the Crips a few times because it was so many of them. But you know, when I got there, I liked to deprive of the homies that was there, you know, from my side, because it would be like 2 homies over here, 60 Crips over there, 3 homies over here, 30 Crips up. Man, they took up so much of everything, but then they wound up getting into it with the Mexicans. They had went to war with them. And then after that, we went to war with them behind something that happened up in the license plates. where they press license plates. We had a few homies up in there working, and they stabbed up one of my homies in the back, and they had a big riot up there. You know what I'm saying? They shut the pen down. They was always locking the pen down. It was always stickings. It was always murders. So this time they locked the pen down. They let us out. We getting around. I'm in my cell. Me and my cellie, he's one of my homies. And it's time. You know what I'm saying? We got to do what we got to do. So I took the sink and busted down, made like 8 knives out of this little steel thing that went around the sink. We was in 5 building, the old Death Row, before Death Row was in San Quentin. You know what I'm saying? But it was mainline in it, but it was still like a dungeon, blind spots, all that. It was people coming up missing up in there, you know what I'm saying? And the homies in 2 building, they handled their business. When they came out for control feeding, they shut it down again. Then we came out, I was working in the kitchen. I done slid around and slid up people's knives and stuff, you know, that's on my side in 5 building. So me and one of the homies going there and handle our business, and one of the homies was sitting across the chow hall. We have a control feed, everybody sitting down, police everywhere. So we finna handle our business, but before we get ready to handle our business, he come from way across the chow hall and sit at the table with us. You ain't even supposed to do nothing like that. He dry snitched on us, but we still got up and got off and wound up going to the whole shoe program now.
Okay, so you get out of prison around 87?
I got out at the end of 87.
Right, you're 23.
Exactly.
In 1988, Eazy-E drops Easy Does It and puts Compton on the map.
The shit.
Yeah.
I'm banging that. Everybody was. I ain't got nothing against Eazy-E.
I was in the Bay.
Yeah.
I fell in love.
I
fell in love with the whole NWA movement.
Man.
At that point, I was all in.
Man, they used to come to do those with nothing but power rules and get love.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
that's where they started at.
Eazy was a Kelly Park Crip, right?
Yeah.
Right, but he wasn't really actively banging like that.
Yeah, but he was from over there. Everybody knew him.
Yeah.
Because, see, at Kelly Park, the homies played Little League Baseball up there.
Did you know him personally?
Easy? No, I didn't know him personally. I seen him around and stuff like that. But see, back in them days, it was just a lot of blacks everywhere. Kids, teenagers. It ain't like now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you would run into somebody and don't even know them and been around them for years because it just be so many different people. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, he drops Easy Does It. NWA comes out. Fuck the Police comes out.
Man.
And Compton gets put on the map.
And we banging that.
Right.
Ferociously. Everybody. Every trunk you heard was rattling that.
Right. And then Dr. Dre leaves NWA. NWA breaks up. Death Row gets formed. And in 1992, The Chronic comes out. Now, did you know Suge at that point again? Or did you guys lose touch?
Well, over the years from being a kid through high school, we always seen Suge. Suge used to come through, what's up, homie? Suge went to Linwood High. But he still was a homie. He still was a friend. Everybody knew him. We've been knowing him since we was kids. You can't just say, didn't nobody know Suge? Not yet, we knew him. We knew Suge, but like, a lot of us played sports, but that don't mean we wasn't with it. That's just something how we was raised around. There wasn't no video games. No, you had to come outside, play tackle football in the middle of the street, go up to the elementary and play basketball when the school is closed. You know, we all knew each other. We all blended around. So yeah, I knew Suge.
Okay, was Suge ever Mob Piru growing up?
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Our neighborhood, we ain't necessarily put tags on each other like that. We all, if everybody been knowing Suge all their life. So he one of the homies. So we ain't got to sit there and say he Mob Piru. That's Suge. And just like any other of the homies that everybody knew, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the homies. So it's kind of different than just putting Mob Piru, even though everybody was claiming Piru and they was from the mob in the neighborhood and all that at that time. But he was going to Linwood, so he never really got to blend with us like that. But I'm quite sure Linwood House was full of Crips, so I know he was up there getting into it, because they'll just be like, where you live at? I live right there. Oh, you from Piru, so we on you. You know, what school did you go to? They used to be on me when I was a kid. I go to Whaley. play basketball at Ludus Park. You know what I'm saying? When we would play for Whaley, we would go to Whaley and Vanguard was blood schools. Then Davis was half and half, like a little bit. But every time we went to go play at other schools, we had to get down because we went to Whaley. And Whaley was a Piru school. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. It's just different. But gangbanging, it was going on ever since I was a baby.
Well, 92, Death Row drops The Chronic. It's huge.
Exactly.
Then in 93, Doggy Style comes out.
Exactly.
Huge as well.
Yeah.
So now at that point, Death Row has 2 giant releases under his belt.
Yep.
And everyone's going crazy.
Yep.
Now, you yourself are still in the streets.
No, well, I was there when The Chronic was going on.
You were around?
Yeah, I was there. I was working with Death Row when The Chronic was out.
Oh, so you were already working with Death Row
I went on
at
the
this
Chronic
point.
tour and everything, yeah. When they was recording, Doggy Style was right there.
So how did you get brought into Death Row during that time, during the Chronic time?
I got into a fight with the Compton police, a big fight with the Compton police.
Okay. That's
And
when you
so,
got arrested by Reggie?
Buntry, I used to see Buntry all the time.
Okay. That's Mob
I was still in the street.
That's Mob James' brother.
Exactly. I was still in the street when I used to run into Buntry. Neckbone, come fuck with us. Woo, woo. Man, shit, I'm in the street. I'm hustling. I'm gangbanging. I'm still around here all the time, getting into whatever got to be getting into. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of kind of was going out there, you know. So after I get in the big fight with the Compton police, Buntry, you know, word hit all over. And Buntry used to come over to my house. Me and Buntry was cool at the time. You know, he was going through a little something with Suge, whatever it was. They were the money, you know what I'm saying? So he wound up getting at Suge about the situation with me. Because, you know, I told you at the time, 2 Compton police had got killed. So the Compton police was on one. Bad. You know what I'm saying? And so they had came through looking for somebody else. I was staying in Ludus Park Hood on San Vicente in the duplexes. I'm grinding and everything, you know, but I go down and hang with the homies sometime. Them the homies, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against nobody. My daughter's mom stayed right there on Holly in Bells. So anyway, the big fight go down and all this and all that. And then, you know, once I got out of jail, Bunchy got at him and Bunchy was like, come out here. I was like, cool, I'm cool on these streets. He's like, I told you, Neckbone, you need to be out here with us. And woo, woo, woo. Suge bailed me out.
Aha. Okay. You get bailed out by Suge.
Exactly.
And now you're hanging out with everyone in the studio?
Everybody. See, me, Suge, it used to be me, Suge, and Bunchy going everywhere. All the rest of the homies was still locked up and all this other type of stuff. When I started messing with Death Row, Bunchy was the only security they had. Period. Wasn't nobody else when I started messing with Death Row. That's my dog. That's my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just by being with him, I'm cool. But I know Suge. Suge know me, but now we really get to know each other. So we clicked. Us 3 clicked. You know what I'm saying? And Suge like to party, go here, go there all the time. You know, we wear red everywhere we go, so we used to go in the clubs and get into it all the time. Stuff like that. And then we start going out with the artists, doing shows and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And like you could be 1,000 people in there and it might be 20 motherfuckers talking crazy that ain't feeling us. But everybody else is loving us, you know what I'm saying? So them be the ones that always start, it's always a small number starting shit. And that's what we came in at. Me and Bunch, you had to put the muscle down, you know what I'm saying, and do this and do that, you know, so they could be safe. That's how I got in. Then, you know, once the checks start rolling, I guess the Roy, whatever, once that money start coming in, because Suge used to always, don't worry about it. He give me a little change, you know what I'm saying? I got you, Neckbone, don't worry. Bunch would be like, don't worry about it, Neckbone, it's gonna be good in a minute. And it started being good. And we started getting payroll checks. Then the Chronic tour came, it's time for the Chronic tour, and a lot of homies was coming home, and Suge was grabbing them. Suge gave a whole bunch of people money, just money, here, homie, passing out checks. And then snatched them all and put them on the Chronic tour security. So now we like 8, 9 deep.
Wasn't there a situation where some of the guys around you felt like Suge owed them money and they were going to kidnap Suge?
sometimes motherfuckers just be talking. Well,
you know what I'm talking about, though,
yeah,
right? Okay.
Yeah. People was getting mad and people was getting upset, but me, myself, I would look at the situation as we're in $1 billion gold mine. You can't figure out how to make some money, manage some artists, make a beat, write a rap. I'm not finna do no shit like that. That's got to bite the hand and feed me. This man has showed me a whole nother life, man. Now I want to kidnap him. And when I'm sitting here, I used to listen to demo tapes. I used to get at artists. I used to be in the meetings with him, Jimmy Yvonne and all them at Interscope. And then we had them late night talks. I'm learning. I'm trying to get in and figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So nah. But yeah, they was mumbling, but wasn't nobody finna do that.
Well, from what I understand, though, I think Reggie Wright Sr. approached Suge and told him of the kidnap plot.
Well, I had gotten some information, that some of the mob guys that he was, trying to hire or work with him in Death Row were going to eventually kidnap him and rob him. So I had gotten that information, and by, knowing the guy, knowing he wasn't no hard guy, I wanted him to be aware so he can watch his back. And I did meet up with him to more or less say, you need to watch who your guys are around you, because, if they don't feel as though they gonna get enough money out of you or something, they gonna rob you. That's what the word is.
And at that point, that's when Reggie Wright Jr. was brought in?
Well, I don't know about what Reggie Wright told Suge. I don't know about all that. But
and you grew up. You grew up with Reggie Wright Jr.
Yeah. I've been knowing that's Junie. I've been knowing him since he was a little youngster. Yeah,
exactly.
And we was cool when he was a kid. That's crazy. But anyway,
he said, "What's up?" By the way,
tell him I said, "What's happening?" I ain't tripping on that now. But look, Reggie and them came in not because of something, some gossip like that. It was time to expand because everybody needs security. Buntry and Neckbone can't watch everybody. We need some official around here. We need some guys that can carry guns, that's licensed. Suge is smart, man. He said we need to put a security team together. Not just the homies, we need some real people that can, you know what I'm saying? Even though we handled all the business, for sure, wasn't no problem. But he needed something more. He needed something more official than that. And that's when Reggie, because him and Reggie grew up together. They grew up together. So that was automatic. I was already a connection.
Well, you always heard stories where people would get beat up in the studio. Heard there was like a room in the back that didn't have a door handle and that type of thing.
Well, me, myself, I never seen somebody just walk in death row and get their ass whooped, just to be getting their ass whooped.
Okay.
Now, all the shit I was involved in is because you had record label execs messing people out of their money. You had this company over here stealing money. You had these guys over here, they done shot at us around the corner, so we got to do. It was a protection thing. It was a reflex thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like we just ran around just terrorizing for nothing. You got to hold your ground. And people gonna try the new record label that's making all this money. All the women like them. They just running around doing their thing. We was doing our thing, but we had a purpose to it. It wasn't just on GP like they try to make it. It wasn't just on GP. You know, business had to be handled. Just that simple. And any other business is the same way. You ain't finna let nobody just come take over nothing up, just cheat you out of something and this and that, you know, because it was a lot of money start coming.
Well, look, I've talked to a lot of people about this. Like, for example, the DOC, right? He would just talk about how he'd go to the studio and he was with Dre, but you had Suge and all the Bloods over here, then you had Snoop and all the Crips over here, and he's just in this uncomfortable kind of situation in the middle, trying to do his job, but there's a lot going on in the process.
You know, it was pretty bad. And so sometimes the alcohol and all that other stuff, I had to have that in order to walk into that that place.
It was that stressful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. For me, it was, you know what I mean? So Suge was the big boss, and he controlled his mob, and Snoopy was the big boss, and he controlled his mob. And Dre had his team that he had with him. But I was alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If me and Dre ain't on the same page, that means I'm alone in here. Okay. And so I had to always walk with that in mind. Now, nothing ever happened to me. Nobody ever
put hands on.
Yeah, nothing. As a matter of fact, a couple of times, Suge had to,
step in.
Oh yeah, and let motherfuckers know. So I guess to answer your question is probably why Suge probably let him know.
Right.
Don't touch this guy.
Yeah.
You can't kill the golden goose, man.
We all, in the beginning, we all kicked it together.
Yeah.
We all kicked it together. We was all one family. I don't know what they talking about.
Okay.
But now, it done been situations, the situation that he got into, he was in the wrong. He jumped in the limo drunk.
DOC?
Yeah, and driving, I wasn't there, and driving crazy and jeopardizing the homies' lives and all that.
Oh, and what, he got jumped over that?
No, he didn't get jumped. He just the boy did what he had to do. All he had to do was fight back. He didn't get jumped.
Okay.
He could have, you know what I'm saying? That's a situation, man. That's like somebody jumping in your car drunk while you in the backseat trying to handle some business. Now they just going through traffic and almost hitting this telephone poles, cars, and all this type of shit. Then pull over and they getting out laughing. What you gonna do? You gonna trip some kind of way. Might not be in the same way, but you gonna trip some kind of way, man. Like I said, ain't nobody just was running around there on no GP. It was purpose behind it. People was in violation.
Did you ever put hands on somebody during that time?
Man, yeah, plenty times.
You talk about a situation in the studio.
I like being free, Vlad. I don't need nobody knocking on my door. Them motherfuckers that kick my doors in, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
They try to
fair
put
enough.
some shit on me, you know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I'm gonna tell you, yeah, you know.
Okay, so
I'm gonna give you one situation.
let's go.
Mary J. Blige. Double platinum. Wasn't getting nothing. For a long time. Wasn't nobody trying to help her get her money. Didn't nobody care about her getting her money. And Suge came in the game, making sure people's contracts was right, getting them the money that they was owed and stuff like that. So he already had that reputation. You know what I'm saying? And, the cats refused to pay her. They owed her millions. And they just needed a little coercion in dealing with business the way it should be dealt with. And quit disrespecting her. You still gonna get your money. I think they was some top notches from Uptown, whatever. I don't remember.
Uptown Records.
Yeah.
But Andre Harrell.
It wasn't him.
Right, but he was the head of.
Yeah, but
of
it
Uptown.
wasn't him. It was somebody she was dealing with. They was robbing her.
Okay. So
Got straightened out though.
basically they signed a new contract right then and there, huh?
Basically.
Basically.
You know. And that's wrong. Double platinum and she can't get no royalties, no nothing?
Were you with Suge during the whole Vanilla Ice hotel incident?
Nah, I was in the pen.
Okay, you heard about it though.
I was hearing, I was hearing about it. I was
Okay.
a solid dad, yeah.
Were you with Suge during the whole Eazy-E signing, Dre's contract
I
away?
was still in the pen,
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Yep, nah.
You heard about that too?
Yeah.
How did you hear that went down? Because I heard different versions of it.
Well, me too. I heard a lot of versions too, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to, you know what I mean?
All right. Now, you weren't there. Fair enough.
Speculation. I ain't
There
finna
you
do
go.
that.
There
Hearsay
you
and
go.
all that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened in that room?
Yeah, you know.
Okay. So you end up going to prison, though, because you were out on bail this whole time?
Well, doing the chronic and all that, I was out on bail.
Right. Because then you end up doing 2 years?
Yeah, I did 2 years. A little over 2 years because I had gotten a ride in the dorm in Susanville. I set some shit off in Susanville. Called a little time. That's when Jake, I was in the hole writing Jake because me and Jake used to talk on the phone all the time.
Yeah,
and,
Big Jake.
Big Jake, the homie, the loved one, that was my homie, man.
Right, because
And,
Big Jake and Suge were like best friends.
Best friends. Once I met Jake, you know, when you meet a real homie, y'all gonna click. You know what I'm saying? Because coming from my side of the track, it's an authenticity to this, man. It's like, you know, you got to be a real, back in the days, you had to be a real one to represent this, man. And the realness comes out in how you carry yourself, how you talk, how you deal with stuff, your humbleness, your modesty, you know what I'm saying? And he was like that, and he was getting his money.
Right, but while you're locked up, Suge and Big Jake were in Atlanta. An altercation happened, and Big Jake gets killed in front of Suge.
That's the word.
Puffy was there.
Yeah.
And Wolf, who was Puffy's head of security, was allegedly the shooter.
Yeah.
Wolf is now dead, so we're not telling on anyone or anything else like that.
Okay, yeah, you know I gotta be sure of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Wolf is gone, but that was a story that most people ran with.
Yeah.
Was that the start of the Death Row Bad Boy beef?
Basically. I'd have been to Jack the Rapper. We went to Jack the Rapper. Suge got Manager of the Year. And Puffy, I can't remember if Puffy presented him the award or not, but Puffy was campaigning for Suge. When he had Craig Mack.
Okay.
He had just introduced Biggie. But I tripped on that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that made it official right there. That made it official.
Right. So you're locked up when that happens.
Exactly.
But then you get out.
Yeah.
End of 95.
Yup.
And 1 week before you get there, Tupac gets to death row.
Exactly.
So when you touch down, you go straight to death row?
Nah, the homies came to the house.
Right.
Gave me money. I was trying to let my hair grow back. Them niggas came with some clippers, cut my hair all. You know what I'm saying? Family, man. This thing ain't just no, this stuff was for real, homie. These was my brothers. Any homie that I deal with is like a brother to me, because I ain't had no brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? So I take that friendship serious.
Only child?
Only child.
Yeah, me too.
You know, is that right?
That's right.
My siblings didn't make it. It was 3 other siblings. They didn't make it. And 65, 74, 76 moms, you know what I'm saying? They didn't make it. But I was the first one at 64 and I made it, you know. But yeah, it's stuff like that. Always wanting to have a brother or somebody close to, you know, made me serious about that. And anybody that know me will tell you that. I take my homies serious. Little homies, big homies, all that.
Okay, so you get to death row and you remember meeting Tupac for the first time?
Yeah, because Pac was running around wild like always. You know, Pac doing his thing. He's having fun, though. Having fun, but he's steadily dropping hints about, you know, the little east-west stuff and the people over there and this and that or whatever. And like I say, one night we was out, you know what I'm saying? And it was this homeless lady in front of the club, and she was, you know, she needed some time, you know, she asked for change. So we always giving her money, talking to her, trying to, you know, you want to go get something to eat and all this and all that. But we still mingling and moving around. So the Crips came up to her, and they was talking around and was around. Next day, you know, I seen her getting hit. She hit the ground. They was stomping on her head and all that. So we jumped in. And it went down. Pac was in the club, and I remember Pac was, something was going on with Pac. But Pac was with his people, his other people he was dealing with at the time. I don't know if that was thug life or what. You know what I'm saying? So the word started circling around that Pac put the thing down, but at the same time, he didn't. So, you know, somebody told him, you know what I'm saying, what was happening with me on that. And that's how we used to sit down and chop it up, you know what I'm saying? He kind of, you know, but he was cool with everybody. It wasn't just me. He had a relationship with everybody. He cared about it. He had a special thing for everybody, and I seen that in him. And I seen how reckless he was. That's why I used to try to tell him, relax, Pac. Sit down, Pac. Pac, what you doing, Pac? You know, on situations he didn't have nothing to do with. He had that in him because he was with us and he knew our reputation. He seen us, you know what I'm saying, being active. And I don't know, I guess he just felt like he needed to be a part of it. But nobody never, ever told Pac, come on, let's go.
What was Pac's relationship with Suge?
Him and Pac was tight.
Yeah.
Him and Pac was tight. We used to be out in the streets every night. Every night. And I never seen no other artist close to Suge like Pac. They was tight. You know what I'm saying? And we had fun with Pac. And you know, like the rest of them, you know, we would do little stuff here and there, you know, whatever. But him and Pac, we was already hanging with Suge and Pac, you know what I'm saying? They was just homies. They was just brothers, man. They was just tight like that because we was always around each other, always. It wasn't okay, we got to get together for a show or we in the studio. We was all around each other all the time, going everywhere. So yeah, they was tight. They be clowning and they be kicking. They was homies.
What about Dre at this time?
Dre was gone.
So what? But he was there when Pac was there.
Yeah, he was there for about 2 or 3 days.
Right, because you were in the studio when Pac did those first
Yeah, California Love and all that, yeah.
all those first set of songs, the first 7 songs.
Barney Rubble did the beat.
Barney Rubble?
Yeah. His name, we called him Barney Rubble. His name was Barney. He did the beat.
Okay.
And your boy Dre put the mix on it. Dre's he's a hell of a producer, but sometimes he just puts the mix on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But then nobody say nothing about none of that.
I mean, Daz was doing some of the beats too.
And, man, Daz was tight. Daz did a lot of beats on All Eyes on Me because Pac was cool with them.
Right.
We was cool with them. We was all cool.
Okay, but after the first few days, Dre was just out?
Dre just got on. He got the new, Dre went and did a video, California You Love video, and wasn't nobody really feeling it. Some Mad Max type stuff, you know what I'm saying?
I thought it was a dope video. You didn't like that?
Depending on how you look at it. Because you talking about, Pac talking about Long Beach to Rosecrans, but the video showing people all out in the desert. He talking about some street in the hood shit, and they all out here in the desert, dressed crazy with the black shit all over their face.
Listen.
You know, if he would have found a song that matched that, yeah, but the song didn't match that.
All right, I mean, listen,
so
it's
that
art.
caused.
It's art. It's however you want to take it. To me, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I was
did
glad
too.
to see Pac back and have a big hit record, fresh out of jail.
Yeah,
you know,
I did too.
You know, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it.
Yeah, certain parts was cool, but we was trying to adhere to the hood. That was our thing. We from the hood, and we trying to keep the hood party.
Well, yeah, because Pac started
all hoods.
Yeah, because Pac started to diss Dre at one point, call him gay and everything else like that. And
Dre wasn't coming to work. He didn't come to the studio no more. Pac ready to go.
Right.
That's how he started messing with Daz. And then the other boy started coming. I can't remember his name.
DJ Quick?
Quick was around, but Quick the one start doing the mixing.
Okay, yeah.
When Dre was the master mixer, Quick had to take up slack for him. And he put a couple of beats on there. But Johnny J.
Oh, Johnny J, yeah.
Johnny J started doing a lot of tracks too.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, I know all them. Personally.
Well, there was a situation, Suge talked about it, where he broke up a fight between MC8 and DJ Quick, and an altercation happened, and one of MC8's homies from the Rolling 60s got killed.
Quick had a show.
Quick had a show.
At the El Rey. And the fight broke out and the situation happened. I just looked at it as it was a bad, it was a bad situation. Because not only did the homies, were involved, and they had nothing to do with no rap music, you know what I'm saying? They were, so to speak, innocent bystanders to niggas like when you come by and drive by and the innocent getting shot, you get me? This was some shit that formed out of a misunderstanding between me and Quick. And then it turned into where now you got hoods and neighborhoods involved.
You know what I'm talking about?
I was locked up. Yeah, they tried to put that, the feds tried to put that murder on me.
Right, you got accused of
when they
killing the guy that was there, but you're locked up.
I was in the penitentiary.
How could they blame you for something like that?
Got some professional ones that get paid to do that. That's what they do. Then they lie too. They just want to say what they gotta say to get their check from them people. They don't give a fuck if they lie or not. But yeah, I was locked up when that happened. But
well, there was a situation outside of Club Palace that happened.
Well, I remember Glam Slam, Prince Club. We used to go up there. We used to be there every night. We done been in all kind of situations at Glam Slam when it was just me, Bunchy, and Suge.
Right.
But yeah, MCA.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay,
yeah, MCA and Quick, you know what I'm saying? MCA got on stage, woo, woofing like, you know what I'm saying? Because A was supposed to be in there. I don't remember seeing him that night. He might have been in there because it used to be dark, it's big, it's a gang of people, you know what I'm saying? But Quick got on stage, woofing. But motherfucker, whoop, you know what I'm saying? And then a little while after that, that's when I got, you know, I was out on bail and I had to go do the time for the case I had, you know, against the police, and I had the little stuff in my pocket because I was getting my hustle on. So I got caught slipping coming up out the house.
Well, there was a situation outside of Club Palace. It was Reggie, Suge, you, and Diamond, and someone took a shot at you guys.
Oh!
Diamond got shot in the leg.
Yeah.
And then
Whoa.
something else happened.
Whoa.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
You already know.
Okay. Can you
And
talk about
Bunchy
that?
too.
Can you talk about that at all?
Well, all I'm gonna say is this. It was an exchange of gunfire.
Okay. You and Rage started to become cool.
Yeah.
You guys ended up having a daughter eventually.
Yeah.
I love Rage, by the way. As
Yeah,
a rapper, I used to always say
She's solid, huh?
Rage was so hard that she started off Snoop's album. Out of all the rappers that were there, all the talent,
Yeah.
the girl started off Snoop's album. And no one said nothing.
She always got them props like that.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
She
dope.
had her own everything. She always got them props like that. You know what I mean? And to me, it seemed like, you know what I'm saying, she was a little bit too much for certain people, and they didn't really put the effort into her like they did all of them other projects. So
Yeah, because her album finally came out, but that was when Death Row was pretty much done later on.
yeah, because there was a situation with Interscope, and the feds put the smash down on Interscope about distribution. The distribution deal ran out.
Yeah. Too bad.
And
Dope
they didn't
album.
renew it. The feds basically, you better not, because Suge was already gone.
Right.
Don't do nothing. And that's when her album got caught right in the middle of that. I was her manager, so you know I was posted up that whole album. I posted, put that work in.
Well, you guys are all hanging out
Yeah.
at Death Row. Dre is gone, and then Tupac decides to do Hit 'Em Up.
Man, he was running around the studio.
Oh, you were there when he recorded it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We went to Vegas that night. So he sit there, he got his Hennessy, he got his blunt, he's doing his thing, right? He writing everybody lines for him. He had came up to old girl, it was like, this is what I want you to say. Woo, 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 woo. You know what I'm saying? This, the Brat, Lil Kim, all there. And she like, man, them is my partners. This what Pac didn't understand. Everybody up there wasn't with it. We with it. But the artist wasn't with it. And I couldn't understand that because when they did New York, the New York cats shot at them in the camper.
True.
That's why Pac felt like they should have been with the movement. They bust on y'all too.
Did New York happen before Hit 'Em Up? I guess it did, huh?
Yeah, way before.
Okay, right. Yeah, you're right. I
That
didn't
was
think
a
about
doggy
that.
style.
Yeah, because they were filming the music video. Biggie made some comments on the radio.
Yeah,
Oh, New York
yeah,
looking
yeah,
soft. You gonna
yeah.
let him come in and shoot this
Yeah,
video?
yeah.
And the video set got shot at. Shout out to Trey D. He talked about that. He was
Yeah.
there.
The first bullet came through the window, and the window behind me, I was sitting facing the door in the trailer. We were in the trailer.
Okay.
Like, you know, in between sets, you go in the trailer, we
Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
and do that. We went there smoking. So it comes through the window. Snoop gets up, he brings me the blunt. Another bullet come through the window. I said, they shooting. Because I heard the first one, but I didn't make it out. I'm like, and I heard something like, but I didn't see nothing. It wasn't no big splatter or nothing. And then the next bullet came through. So we got on the ground, security opened the door immediately, fired up the van, snatched everybody out, threw us in the van, told us to stay down, shot back to Jersey.
Okay, so he didn't hit him up, but you know, hit him up. That's why I fucked your bitch.
Pop
Die
was wild.
slow.
Like, wasn't nobody there to tell him, man.
Sickle
don't say
cell.
that. Yeah. Wasn't nobody there to tell him, don't say that. Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
That was by far the harshest diss record hip hop had ever seen at that point, if not ever.
And we was loving it.
You were loving it.
We was loving it because we with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big J.
And by the way, I found out recently that my man Edie Amin, who you know also, is the only living person from that song. Everyone else has passed away, including the producer Johnny J. Johnny J, Tupac.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And what's his name? Fatal.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone. Everyone's gone from that song, except for one person.
No, I think, what's his name still around?
Who?
My little light-skinned partner, man, used to be with hair around. Edie, the chunky brown skin one, right? Mess with Pac's sister or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah, they have a baby together.
Okay.
Fatal. The light skin.
No,
dude.
not Fatal.
Fatal's gone.
Not Fatal.
I mean, there's only 3 verses.
Oh, you saying that was on the song?
On the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because there's still another one living too.
Oh, yeah, no. There's another outlaw.
Yeah.
I mean, Napoleon's still alive.
Yeah.
Castro's still alive.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right.
no, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tupac drops Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah.
And things go crazy.
Woo! And he had been dropping them back to back to back. Pac was on one. He was dropping them back to back. Me
Right,
and my
because
girl.
All Eyes on Me is the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
There's single after single, but Hit 'Em Up was something different.
Different.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Pac runs into all the Bad Boy crew at the Soul Train Awards.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
Right. Now, you were outside when that happened.
We all caravanning up there, but you know what I'm saying? They was in the Hummer. Him and Suge was in the Hummer. You know, we trying to battle through traffic. I think it was rush hour traffic at the time, by like 5 o'clock when people getting off work. We trying to zigzag through traffic, getting caught at lights. They got away, and right when we pulled up to the gate, they had shut the gate on us. So we were surrounded. Everybody got the P-Funk sweatshirts on. We surrounded the whole, whatever the place was, and Pac was supposed to be getting an award. He didn't want the award. He was in there tripping. They went in there and ran around a little bit, did their little thing. It came on out, but it was a little standoff at the gate. The pistol was drawn and all that.
Yeah. C-Gutter pulled out a gun. We
Exactly.
talked about it on camera.
Exactly.
You know, Pac was leaning out the window, yo, y'all on the west side, get this shit over with right here and now. So I just slid the burnout, because I don't know what dude, you know, what his intentions was. And, you know, he seen the gun, yo, he got a strap, and then we slid off.
And I think Reggie may have pulled out a gun also.
Probably so.
Someone on Puffy's side, either Keffe or C-Gutter, pulled out a gun.
They had a gun.
But he didn't point it.
He didn't point it.
He just pulled it out.
He just pulled it out and he kept it down. The Muslims did what they supposed to do, us being security for the vineyard, or for mainly probably for Don Cornelius for the award show. Because you know how you have security that's working for the
FOI.
Yeah, the FOI.
Yeah.
They were in the middle, brothers, and all of that. Puffy ran like a bitch. I don't care what Gene say. He keeps saying that he had Puffy, and Puffy ran and got up underneath a car. I pulled out my gun.
And you pointed it at
I
him?
pointed it. I'm legal. I'm legal than trained.
Right, and you've actually shot people on the job before.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So you pulled out, and what, you told them to drop their weapon?
I was pointing at him and telling him, don't raise it. That's what I'm telling him. Don't raise that gun, dude. You already got it out. I ain't telling him to drop it. I ain't doing police mode. I'm telling him don't raise it. And like I said, the Muslims and the Pac is telling me, he trying to pull the gun from me. You know, Pac was wilding out and trying to take the gun out of my hand. Shoot him, Red, shoot him. I'm like, man.
Gene Deal was there.
And we heard it over the radio. So me and Puff is running and trying to get there. The next thing you know, this little light-skinned Muslim guy stops Puff. and we about to get into it with these Muslim guys, and I didn't know what the hell was going on, you know, but I'm not gonna let them touch Puff. And they wanted to talk to him, so they surrounded us. And I was like, oh shit, this shit about to go. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, Nation of Islam guys start running, coming from everywhere. You know, so and they backed up, and me and Puff took off running to the corridor.
It was a whole messy situation.
Gate, we was at the gate. They wouldn't let us in.
Yeah.
The Arabic brother, the Muslims, they wouldn't let us in. We was at the gate. Almost made it. They slammed the gate on us.
Were you at the Soul Train Awards?
Yeah.
With the whole...
Yeah, we stay going to awards.
You don't want your producer all in the video dancing.
Oh, no.
Come to
I was
row.
locked. That was like about a month before I got out.
Okay.
No, that was a couple months before I got out.
Got it.
Yeah.
There was a situation at Club 662 where RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan tried to get into the VIP section.
No, he was trying to get in the club.
Oh, in the club.
He was at the door.
Okay.
And the club was past capacity.
What happens?
You know what I'm saying? So he get to hollering and screaming, talking crazy. And I'm standing right there, you know, and he spent on me. You know what I'm saying? He got the rings on with the little spikes on them and everything. He just woofing. So you know what I'm saying? Okay. I ain't got nothing to say. And that was the end of that, you know, bam, bam, bam. Before you bam, bam me, I'm gonna bam, bam you. Right. And that's what happened.
Wasn't his chain taken that night?
I gotta think before I answer some of these questions, man.
I mean, this is way past the statute of limitations.
I know somebody somewhere is jotting this shit down like, we gonna get your ass for something. Yeah, he got his chain took.
Okay. Did he get it back eventually?
He probably did.
Okay.
He probably did. I'm quite sure he did. I think he got it. He got that chain back. Because, you know, the homie wound up with it. He didn't want it. So, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of way, I think he did get that chain back. But wouldn't none of that happen if he wouldn't have got at me crazy. He talked shit to some of the right way security guys. You know, they kind of like ain't tripping. He just own one. You can't talk to me like that.
Mm. Now, MC Hammer was hanging around during this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I heard that both MC Hammer and Tupac went and got mob tattoos from the same place.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, was Tupac Mob Piru at that point?
Pac wasn't no Piru. But he was hanging with us, and we from the mob. He seen how we operated. He approved of it. It wasn't just, you know, whoop all the time. We had fun with each other. He wasn't trying to be from the hood. He was just down. But like I said, Pac said mob in his songs years before he even came to Death Row. He had a song where the hook was mobbing like a motherfucker every single day. I can't remember what the name of that song was. And see, he was up in that Bay Area, and they say mob a lot out that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Bay
you're
Area's
hanging
like,
out with Mob Piru.
Yeah,
you get mob.
Well, he was with us. He was with us.
If I was hanging out with you every day and I got mob tattooed on my arm, you might looking at me a certain type of way.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's not what it means. It means something else. Like, come on, man.
But I never looked at him like a Mob Piru. He was always Tupac.
Okay, fair enough.
He had the mob tatted on him. I wasn't paying attention to that because he was Tupac and he was with the business anyway, tattoo or not. The tattoo didn't make him no G. He was just a little G anyway. He was doing his thing before he even met us.
Well, Tupac recorded the song To Live and Die in L.A.
Yeah.
And part of the verse goes, Neckbone, Trey, hair on, Buntry 2. Big Rock got knocked, but this one's for you. I hit the studio and drop a jewel hoping it pay. Getting high, watching time fly. To live and die in L.A.
Man, I remember the night he did it. Pac, you know, I used to be at Can-Am in the daytime. And so, you know what I'm saying, me and old girl, I'm working on her project, but I'm still working, keeping order. You know, got other homies up in there keeping order, keeping it straight. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool. Everybody got along. Wasn't no big old, all that old, like, man. If something happened, it's because they deserved it. They was in the wrong. They was in violation. But anyway, I was finna leave. I had hollered at him, and I hollered at the Outlaws and them, you know, and I was finna leave. And I heard the beat, and I heard some little flow on it. And right when I was stepping out, he's Neckbone. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? What's up, dog? Hey, come here. I want you to hear something. Man, I'm finna go home. I'm tired. Neckbone, come on. He laughing and clowning. You know, he having a good time. You know what I'm saying? All right, man, let me hear what this nigga talking about. You know what I'm saying? He said, put that up for me. And the song came on. He said, Neckbone, Trey. I just looked at him like, I'm gone, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it and all that. But you know, you putting more light on us. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, though. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't like don't nobody know me. You know what I mean? So I looked at it like, okay, that's going to draw more attention. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it wasn't a bad thing. I just knew it was going to draw more attention, which it did. And I think that's what he wanted us. He wanted us all to be equal. But our thing was to be in the cut.
Yeah.
We wasn't supposed to be taking pictures with stars and all. That wasn't us. We in the cut. So anything that went against being in the cut, you know, I'm gonna be concerned about it. You know what I'm saying? More than anything. I wasn't laughing and giggling like, ooh, wow, thing. I was more concerned like, okay, yeah, the feds gonna hear that shit and then we'll, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
yeah,
I wasn't mad at him either though.
Well, look, for example, Suge would criticize Puffy for being in the videos.
Yeah.
But then he started being on magazine covers
Yeah.
and in the photo shoots and
Yeah.
everything else like that. He became as big as everyone else on the label at one point.
Yeah, and that's because he was responsible for the success of that label. The success of that label
Yeah, but the
was on him,
CEO
so he wanted to he wanted the world to know.
Right, but the CEO
I
doesn't
need
always
mines
put
too.
his name out like that.
Yeah, that's true.
His face out like that.
That's true.
He's a CEO.
Yeah.
He's not the entertainer. So, listen, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I feel like Suge started to really feel himself in terms of the publicity and the fame and everything else
When
like
Pac
that.
came around.
Yeah, exactly.
But Suge put the work in. He did.
No,
Man.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
he deserved his credit. He deserved his credit from the world.
That he
Because if
does.
it wasn't for Suge, because all them people, he gave the green light to say, okay, yeah, you could work with him. Okay, the whole Long Beach car.
I mean, but do you think that Suge wasn't acting his wage by that time? Meaning that he's worth, millions and millions of dollars and he's still thugging it out, still intimidating executives in the studios and the office rooms and still people getting hands put on him and so forth. I remember, this is a true story, because VladTV used to be in Universal Records. Yeah. There was a picture of Suge in the security office, says, do not let this person in the building, because he had threatened the CEO of Universal. Yeah. There was a guy in the front with a gun, specifically because of Suge Knight, that takes the CEO in and out of the car whenever he leaves the building.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that you're older and you look back on it, what do you think?
Yeah, but this, I'm going to put it to you like this. He just deserved his respect. He was trying to push a line for the homies. We here, we never got our props on nothing. Not like individuals. I'm saying Quick and them, they had but they wasn't really just out there like that. Mm-hmm. Suge is like, we the ones doing it. I'm the one that's doing it. We doing it. So y'all need to recognize me. That's how I took it. He wasn't doing it in no negative manner. He just deserved his props.
Around this time, it seemed like Puffy and Bad Boy were cozying up with the Southside Crips.
Yep.
Leading up to the mall incident, was there altercations between Southside and Mob Piru?
Well, when I was managing, I used to go up to the beat. Me and old girl used to go up to the beat. And one night we ran into Biggie. They knew each other. They was clowning and talking. And he had one of them with him.
One of the Southside guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew him. But it wasn't really no trip like that. Because you got to understand, The mob in the South Side got history that go back to all type of other situations before death row.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You get, because you had a money-making crew that made money with the homies and this and that. There's other things that took place between that relationship. So it wasn't always on. And for that incident to happen at the Lakewood Mall, where they was trying to beat the homies with them big steel beams, they was squabbling back. They tried to take the chain, they got the chain back.
All right, so let's talk about that for a second, because
Yeah.
that's what I was leading up to.
Yeah,
You and Trayvon Lane were living together.
exactly.
Super close.
Tight, that's little bro.
He goes to Lakewood Mall.
Yup, him, K-Dub, and Mo.
Right, we're in a death row chain.
Yup.
Had you heard that there was a bounty on death row chains leading up to that situation?
You hear so much stuff, man. You don't
Okay.
pay attention
You
to
don't
half,
know what's
'cause
true, what's not true.
Ain't nobody finna touch none of us with no death row chain.
Right,
So,
but then at
Yeah,
the
and
Lakewood
then
Mall,
most of that stuff was coming from them females because they was playing both sides of the fence.
Huh. Okay, so Trayvon Lane and a couple of the homies were at the Lakewood Mall,
Yeah,
and then a bunch of Southside guys, including Orlando, jumped on him.
in the Foot Locker.
The Foot Locker.
They tore that Foot Locker, but the homies got down back though.
How many Southside guys was it?
They was super outnumbered. I don't know the exact count,
Okay,
but I know they was outnumbered.
right. And this was not like a little 1-2 minute fight.
Nah,
Like
they
15
got out
minutes?
for a minute. Yeah, about 15 minutes. They got out for a minute.
Was the chain taken?
To be honest with you, I don't know if he took it. I don't think he took it. If he did, you didn't take it if he got it back.
Okay, but he got
He
it back
might
at
have
one
had
point.
it, but he got his chain back.
Okay, so when Trayvon got back home, he had his chain.
He had his chain.
All right. How badly hurt was Trayvon?
They was all right. They
was all right.
soldiers.
They all right.
They was straight.
Okay.
They was on one too, and then he ain't to beat it, man.
But you guys knew exactly who did it.
It was names popping.
Okay. But you knew it was Southside.
Exactly.
Got it.
That's what let us know. Oh, so they jumping in. Oh, so that's what's going on.
But
They
okay,
ride with Puffy in them.
was that altercation?
That's their motivation. They want to ride with Puffy
so you
in
felt
them.
that altercation was tied to Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now there's already tension in the air.
Exactly.
So then a few weeks later, Mike Tyson's having a big fight in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I heard that Pac originally didn't want to go, but
He didn't. Because we was always in Vegas. We stayed in Vegas.
right.
We was tired of Vegas.
Well, I interviewed Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And Mike Tyson to this day actually feels bad because he was kind of being pushy with Pac.
I feel a little guilty about him coming to the fight, me pressuring him for the, hey, yo, bring the tape, don't forget the tape, you know?
Because I guess he wanted Pac to walk him out, and I guess there was a song that Pac made for him and stuff
he
like
did.
that.
He made a tight one for Tyson.
Right. So Pac agrees to go to Vegas, and you guys caravan from LA to Las Vegas.
Yeah. We always did that.
Right. You're at the fight.
Yeah.
Who are you clicked up with at the fight?
It was me and Trey. But me and Trey, we zigzagging. We like walking in, we zigzagging through traffic. It ain't like when the homies is hanging, it ain't like we walking around shoulder to shoulder, foot to foot. We doing our thing. We mingling. We keeping an eye on each other, but we doing our thing. We come back, we holler for him. We moved around. He moving one way, I moved. Somebody had called me. One of the homies had called me, not one of the homies that was with us, a homie that I knew, had called me. I kept hearing my name. I'm looking around. You know what I'm saying? And I see who it was. I had walked over there, was talking to him. I looked back to see what Trey doing. Trey had walked over there to Suge and Bunchy. Suge and Bunchy had just came out, Pac running around all wild, Pac way over there somewhere. Him and Frank, because Frank was his bodyguard.
Right.
We wasn't his bodyguard.
Right.
He just hanging. We just all hanging together. But Frank was his body. Frank got to keep our eye. Frank got to tell him, do this, do that, walk straight, do this, whatever he got to do. That's Frank's assignment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when I walk away from the homie that I was talking to, Trey over here conversating with Suge and Bunchy. So I walk up now, we all conversate. Pop, he popped up, he popped up and heard something and took off.
Okay. When you get there, What was said in that conversation?
All I heard was something about somebody over there. Watch wearing one of the cats, you know what I'm saying? Is that right? But our thing was, we going out here to kick it and have a good time. We ain't coming out here, we ain't even on that. We trying to chill. We got the club cracking. This is like a grand opening. We got a lot of stuff going on. We ain't coming out here for that. Pac initiated the whole thing. When he took off, he heard, so I don't know what he heard because I ain't got his ear. He just took off. We like, damn, I tried to catch him.
You tried to catch him.
I tried to catch him, but it's so crowded. He's so little and fast. I done ran a couple people over and all kind of stuff. And by the time I catch up to him, he done fired on the boy.
Right. So Orlando Anderson was seen by Trayvon. He tells you guys that that's who that is right there. Which makes, listen, me and Trayvon have had a lot of conversations about this. I never got the impression that he was like, hey, Pac, that's the guy that jumped me. Go get him. Yeah, like that never happened.
And he got us standing there, he gonna go tell Pac? That's crazy.
Here's my security right here next to you. If I see someone who I had a problem with, which happens from time to time, I'll tell my security, hey, that's so-and-so. This is what happened. Be on alert. That's it. We're not gonna go beat him up. We're not gonna go shoot him. Be on alert. And that's what I took from that conversation, right?
Yeah, he just was casually mentioned it, man, because we ain't tripping. He just, they go, woo, okay, woo, woo. But see, the thing is, Pac had a bodyguard. Pac bodyguard should have grabbed.
Yeah.
You supposed to be in his hip pocket. While he's zigzagging all around, you supposed to tell him, man, slow down. You just letting him do whatever you want to do. Then later on in life, it came back on us. But wait a minute, we wasn't assigned to Pac or none of that. He had a bodyguard. I tried to catch him. After I see he ain't tripping, I tried to catch him. That was my initial thing.
In retrospect, why do you think Pac went and attacked Orlando, knowing that there was a whole bunch of other guys that could have done it for him?
Because he came out that Tyson fight fired up. Fucking with Mike Tyson. That boy was fired up.
That does happen, man.
He was fired.
We gonna see a fight like that. We feel like we were actually in the ring. That's how men are, man. That's one of our flaws, honestly. I feel that's a flaw of all men.
And him and Tyson was close.
They were super tight. Yeah.
So I don't know if he thought he wanted to get his Tyson on right quick.
Right.
Shit, my boy just got out and then you go find me a motherfucker to sorry. I don't know what he was thinking.
That makes the most sense I've heard. Okay.
I don't know what he was thinking. Like he was fired up.
When you see Pac attacking Orlando, then you jump in and you start kicking him? I mean, it's in the video.
God damn, this dude crazy.
It's on the video, man.
But you know what? It ain't nothing to brag about, Vlad.
No, it is not.
Because
in retrospect, I think
none of that shit should have never happened.
If you really think about it, you know, the 61-year-old Neckbone, would you have started pulling people off?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to catch Pac.
Yeah.
I was trying to catch him because I was on him all the time. Man, sit down. Frank was the one that was supposed to be like, no, woo, and pulled him away. Frank wasn't doing nothing. Reflexes kicked in.
Right.
And I didn't have no time to think because I done had to fight 6, 7 Crips by myself, 2 or 3 Crips by myself. You know, they was trying to get me, but I ain't never got stomped out. I ain't never been on my back. I ain't never had no black eye, busted lip, bloody nose, none of that. I might have had a couple of hickeys or something like that, but I done had to get out. I ain't never balled up like old boy, balled up on the ground. He didn't even have no fighting. And, you know, not to disrespect that situation.
Well, but it was what, like 5-on-1? Well, okay.
2.
Well, hold on. It was Tupac.
Pac did the thing and that was it. He was out of it. Pac put the whoop down, you know, the initial.
Well, but if you look at everyone involved, it was Tupac, Suge, Buntree. Was Trayvon involved?
Nah.
And you?
Suge was trying to break it up too.
No, Suge went to court and he was kicking them.
Hey,
it was on there. That's why he ended up going back to jail.
But honestly though,
they went through that video and the judge said, no, that's you kicking him.
Yeah.
It is what it is at this point.
Okay, but I'm gonna tell you the truth though. He was trying to, he put a little effort into trying to break it up. He was trying to break it up.
A little bit of effort. Okay.
He didn't participate in that shit like that. I done got down with some things with Suge, and that ain't what he do. He gonna get down. He was trying to, you know.
Okay.
It's just the fact that they dog my little homie. This is just how y'all want to play it.
I'm not saying that what you guys did wasn't fair, because at the end of the day, you jump one of ours, we'll jump one of yours. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not mad at what you guys did.
Yeah. But we wasn't there for that.
Right.
So Trey wasn't tripping because we didn't already, we finna go have some fun. We ain't got time for this bullshit. That's why Trey, if he seen him, he wasn't, because he was already like, we just gonna chill, huh?
Well, I remember seeing the Antoine Fuqua documentary that he did with Suge.
Yeah.
And what Suge said in the documentary was, as they were walking out, Suge told Tupac, like, all right, you hot in the music, but now you're about to be hot in the streets.
Suge told Tupac that?
Yeah.
He probably did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Pac, man, I guess being a Gemini, you really do got two sides to you. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a real kind person. He cared about people. He showed people love, man. He had a genuine heart.
Yeah.
You know, but then, man, I done seen him. You know what I'm saying? You be like, damn. You know, but then I go back to what you done heard he done got into in his past. You know what I'm saying? But he could be so just a good friend to you. You see, it seemed like that the other side to him didn't even exist until that other side kicked in. And you be shocked like, damn.
Well, the fight happens and you see the surveillance tape.
Yeah.
Tupac, Suge, and you guys start to leave, and then everyone's like caravanning behind you guys. So this huge mob of people are leaving, no pun intended, leaving the MGM. And then you guys have to go get your cars at this point, right? Because they're parked at a different hotel?
No, our cars was at the MGM.
Oh, okay. But you guys were staying at the Luxor?
We had rooms at the Luxor. We were staying at the house. We always had rooms, you know what I'm saying? We stay in them. We have for the homies that be coming, because we got homies want to come and chill, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they would get those rooms, you know.
Okay, so you guys meet up.
Yeah.
And you guys prepare to go to Club 662.
Well, when we left the MGM, it was 20 people behind us, 40 people behind us, 80 people behind us. Then it seemed like the whole MGM we trying to shake the crowd. That's why we was going through this way, that way. We trying to shake the crowd. It wasn't our entourage. We didn't know none of them.
Right.
There's people in Vegas.
Right, but at one point, the core group meets up and gets ready to go to Club 662.
We went to the house first.
Yeah.
I think Pac, they went to the rooms and Pac took the orange rust-colored shirt off. He came back out with a slingshot on. I think he did that at the Luxor. He went to the room and changed and came out.
Right.
And then, after that, we went to the house.
Okay. Now, you're around Pac. And Pac sometimes wears his bulletproof vest. And you mentioned to him, Pac, where's your vest?
Exactly.
What did he say?
See, 662, the ventilation was messed up. So it would be real hot in there. So the last couple times he had went, you know, to perform and do his little thing, he was burning up hot. We always burning up hot. It was hot because the air wasn't working. But I was trying to tell him, you ain't got to do that. The air's working. So you put your vest on. He's like, nah, it's going to be too hot for a vest and this and that. I don't need, plus I'm coming right back. And then, you know, the other homies was getting at it. Everybody was talking to Pac, man, because Pac just did something that we know the extent of what he did, because that's where we come from. And you need your vest. But he was like, nah, I'm cool. But all the time, the air, we was telling him the air's fixed.
Yeah.
We got there, it was blowing cold. So he didn't even have to do that. He didn't even have to take his vest off or nothing. He took it off on his own. And the air was blowing cold. You would have been straight with your vest on, because the air blowing cold. I told you the boy got it fixed.
Yeah, I remember talking to Edie earlier today.
Yeah.
And he remembers Castro from the Outlaws asking Pac, "Hey Pac, where's your vest?"
Exactly. Everybody was.
And Pac was like, "Nah, I'm good." And
Yeah.
he left it alone after that.
Yeah.
You weren't going to tell Pac what to do.
Especially after that situation.
Are you guys aware though, right? You know who you just jumped.
Yeah.
You knew that was Orlando. And no matter who you talk to, everyone pretty much says, from whether they're Bloods, Crips, cops, everyone says Orlando was a hitter.
Yeah.
Orlando was not a soft guy. He had 2 murders that they're investigating. He had all types of different altercations. He shot at the cops.
Yeah.
He is who he is.
Yeah.
Right? We're not going to take that away from him.
Exactly.
So you know who you guys just jumped.
But it's all kind of hitters. He ain't the only one. So every time it's a situation, you dealing with a hitter. Both sides is hitters.
Yeah.
So he got his credentials, I got my credentials, all these guys everybody that did a whole bunch of crazy shit. So that didn't even matter.
Well, but you are aware that usually situations happen quickly afterwards, right? People's egos are involved, there's tempers and so forth. Yeah, it might happen 2 months later, but it's a little more likely to happen right afterwards.
Yeah.
So are you guys aware that, listen,
they might
try to retaliate the same night?
We was on that.
Did you have a conversation about that?
Yeah. We kind of like briefed over it because we like, for us, it's just normal. We go through this. We know, okay, coming back, we're going to go back and this. So the thing was, since he didn't want to put his vest on, we already go caravan a certain way, but we wanted him to put his vest on. But on top of that, we already got it down how we going to caravan. Because this is what we do too. And we had him secure, but they was zigzagging in and out of the coverage that we had on him.
So you guys are caravanning, Suge and Pac are in the BMW.
We watching them. We watch it because we know we know. We know.
The Outlaws are behind them. Bunchery's in the caravan.
Yeah.
You're in the caravan in a different car.
Yeah.
But they're zigzagging. At one point, Suge gets pulled over.
By the Vegas police on bikes.
For loud music.
They was up and down everybody was playing loud music. Vegas police was up and down the strip on bikes.
Right. Now look.
They was right there.
I interviewed Keffe D, and he talked about the whole situation. They were upset over Orlando getting jumped. They went and got a gun, allegedly from Eric Von Zip, and they went looking for Pac and Suge.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and read from the book, passage. On getting a gun for the Tupac hit. While we were waiting for the valet to bring out our cars, Zip seized the opportunity and called me over to his Benz. Zip was a big-time New York player, pimp, and hustler who used to come out to California and handle his business and kick it with us sometimes. As I walked up to the driver's side, I noticed the rapper Foxy Brown was in the car with Zip. So he instructed her to step out of the car and motioned for me to jump in. Zip had a hidden compartment, and he opened up, reached in, and pulled back a .40 Glock.
Like I say,
he turned to me and said, "It's time to get the money."
Like I say, get your $20 and read about that part. They're going to have a concert at the 662 Club. So we went up there.
Which was Suge's club.
Yeah, we went up there.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
So you guys went over there, but there was a bunch of cops and everything in front. No, there wasn't.
No, there wasn't no cops. We was there for about 30, 40 minutes in the back parking lot.
Okay, but you never went in.
And I seen where Mob James said he seen us in the back parking lot. That tripped me out.
Were you in Vegas? Yeah, you
were
in Vegas.
Ran 662. I was running the club at the time.
Right.
Reggie Wright was there, but I was doing the door and all of that.
Right, and your brother Bunchery was there as well.
Bunchery was at the fight.
Yeah.
He went to the fight with him. We already knew it was finna happen. That they was coming to Vegas, the whole nine. And then when they came, they pulled up in front of 662. I alerted a bunch of them and told them that Keffe D and them out here, the South Sides is out here. And they drove off.
Yeah.
They allegedly went to Club 662. Mob James was there doing security. He claims that he saw the car pull up and so forth, but they don't see him there. So they keep driving around. And then they see Pac out the window talking to some girls.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
No, we coming up, what's the name? What's that, Flamingo? Yeah, I think that's Flamingo. We was coming up Flamingo and got to the light. We used to go drink and smoke some weed, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
They was talking to, man, it was all kind of females was on.
A bunch of girls. But he was hanging out the
different
window
cars,
talking to the
different
girls.
cars, yeah. He doing his thing.
They pull up, they open fire, Pac gets hit, Suge gets grazed.
I was on my bike, and over the radio, some other officers came on and said there's shots fired at the corner of Flamingo and Koval, and that there were vehicles fleeing the scene.
Do you remember hearing the gunshots?
Yeah, I heard it was probably like 14 shots, 12, 14 shots. And while the shots was going off, I'm trying to get my thing out the stash, but my stash was always messing up. So it's stuck. The airbag won't come out. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing the cars burn rubber. So when it finally come out, I jump out the car, the Cadillac is gone already. Because I'm looking out and I'm looking out and I see a car driving fast, and Suge and them was right behind him with a flat tire. He chasing them on a flat tire, him and Pop.
Yeah.
And then the homies was behind them. And they all got stopped. And Bunchy made it past, you know what I'm saying? By that time, because I'm on the sidewalk, and I'm on the sidewalk now. Right after the homies passed, Bunchy and them passed, I can't do nothing because they in the back. I might hit one of them. So when they got stopped, Bunchy got past them, you know what I'm saying? But they was way down. I could see all that. They was gone. When he fired a couple of shots, they was way out the way. So they had put the homies face down in the street.
Yeah.
And they handcuffed them.
Right.
But they was chasing them.
I interviewed the cop that actually pulled him over.
Yeah.
Chris Carroll, I think.
Yeah.
And he was on a bicycle because cars couldn't get through. It was
Yeah.
too packed. He didn't know what was going on. He showed up. There was Suge bleeding out of his head. Pac was in the car bleeding. He didn't know who any of them were. So he pulls out guns on all of them, trying to contain the situation.
I knew that one of these guys, one of the cars at least, was involved in a shooting, but I had no idea who anybody was. So as soon as the cars stopped, the doors popped open, and everybody kind of just jumped out to see what was going on. And I pulled out my gun, and I tried to yell at everybody to get down on the ground. I knew I was in a bad situation because I was alone, and it was physically in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip. So there's people everywhere. These car doors open. There's, I don't know how many guys, I want to say 8 to 10 guys. I could tell right away, you know, these guys were kind of hardcore. They looked like gangsters, you know, tough looking dudes. So I yelled at them all to get on the ground. Some did and some didn't. You know, some guys did, and then I could see them looking at each other like, you know, are we going to listen to him, or are we going to run, or are we going to go after him? You know, it was just kind of a strange little standoff there for a few seconds, and I wasn't sure what to do either, because I thought for certain it was going to be a shooting. I thought for sure, I'm like, here we go. It's going to be, we're going to shoot it out here right in the middle of Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah.
And he said he opened the door, Pac falls out of the car bleeding, and he's asking Pac who did this to get a death confession. Pac looks at him, realized he's talking to a cop, and said, "Fuck you."
I looked at him once again. I said, what happened? Who did this? Who shot you? And now he's looking at me, so we're looking at each other in the eyes. And this is kind of the first time he's even acknowledging my presence. And he looked at me, and I could tell he was getting a breath together to tell me. And he looked me right in the eyes, and we looked at each other, and he said, "Fuck you." And he said it just like that, with the emphasis on that F to really let me know.
I believe that.
And then falls into
Pac
a coma.
was a rider, man.
Falls into a coma.
Pac was a rider. Well, I don't know about the coma because we got to the hospital and we all and they told us Pac was gonna be all right.
Okay, but you ever see Pac all right?
Nah, I didn't view the body or nothing. I didn't see him when he was in the hospital.
Okay, so you were in the hospital but not in the room.
No, not in the room. I never went in the room.
Yeah,
Because
you were,
the other people was in the room.
The immediate family and stuff like that.
Yeah. But, they was coming out. Pac gonna be all right. You sure he could? Man, dang, we was stressing. But they kept saying he was all right. So when we came back from the hospital, we got at everybody, but he gonna be all right. Pac gonna be all right. You know, we was happy at that he was gonna be all right. We wasn't happy because he got shot. They told us he gonna make it. Because them motherfuckers, they did they shit.
After he got shot, did you think it was Orlando at that moment?
Nah, because see, he's singled out, so everything is. But when you in the middle of it, and you doing this is how you living, you don't think about it. You don't think you just know that's where they was from. It was some of them cats that came through. You ain't saying a certain person name. You just know that's what Hood did it.
So you
then
knew
that came out later on.
Well, yeah, because you jumped a guy from Southside, so you figure it was Southside getting revenge.
Exactly. I knew that.
Okay.
Because it all started from the Lakewood Mall when they jumped the little homies.
Yeah.
So yeah, we going back and forth. That's what we do.
So the doctors are saying Pac is going to be alive and so
That's
forth.
what the word was.
But then 6 days later, it was announced that they actually pulled the plug and let him die. Because ultimately his mom made the decision that it was better to let him pass at that moment. And look, I'm the one that had to give my dad a do not resuscitate order because I was the one that was caring for him at the end of his life. And that's not an easy thing to do. To tell the doctor to let that person pass away, that's one of the hardest things.
My mom had been in that situation.
Yeah.
And we always tell them no.
Yeah.
No, she's still living right now.
Yeah. How did you feel when you realized that Pac died?
I was mad at Pac because he wouldn't never listen. I was sad and mad. And then you reviewing back, where was all these security people at? The security. Where y'all at? You know, man. But like I said, when we was waiting on our cars, we had Pac posted from Perimeter. We was watching him and everything because we had to take over because they ain't showing up. Frank's standing there, but he looking all, you know what I'm saying? Then when it was time to go back to the house, we got our cab, we was straight because there wasn't that much traffic going that way. Then when we left the house to go to the club, the whole time we trying to, you know, but they zigzagging and doing this and then the police right here, the police over there. If we would have just went straight and they would have just let everybody who was surrounding them stay like they was, we'd have been straight. But they started, man. I got blocked in. I got blocked in by a car on this side, and the island, you know how the streets had the island, was blocked me in on that side. I couldn't go over because I'm on rims, and I had just cracked my rim about a month before that on a whole other incident we had got into at the club with somebody else, with the homies. We was just some shit, and I cracked the rim, you know what I'm saying? Couldn't drive, so I knew I couldn't go over that island. I'm gonna bust my rim. That's why I jumped out the car.
Did you ever confront Frank Alexander?
Nah, I didn't say nothing to him. I just didn't have no more rap for him no more.
Yeah.
He felt it though, believe that, because we and Frank was cool. But they know when I don't, they know. You know, it was, but that wasn't gonna bring Pac back, but still at the same time, yeah, because I don't know, man. Pac was living. He was modeling, he was doing movies, he was around a lot of stars, and Frank around all this stuff now, man. And Frank's kind of, you know, he was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of, he wasn't like he was at first. He started kind of being a little more, but he was on point, but, you know, Pac had him around a lot of stuff that the average person eyes gonna get big about, like, ooh, that's such a, ooh, what y'all doing? Ooh, you know, he had him all overseas, all kind. He had him, that was his bodyguard.
Yeah.
Pac chose him. He said, I want Frank to be my bodyguard. Frank should have been on it, man.
Well, you guys get back to Compton.
Yeah.
And a war breaks out.
Well, the war started in the Lakewood Mall.
Right. Well, but after Pac got killed.
Yeah. But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It got put on steroids.
Yeah. That's
right. Because
we had to get our gear. It was on us. It's like playing ping pong. I'm gonna serve it to you. You gotta serve it back. If I might get a slam in, you know what I'm saying? You might get a slam in. But we finna go back and forth until further notice. This finna go down, and that's what was happening. Back and forth, everybody. Yeah, but all they know, they didn't come through the hood to do nothing. Not where we was from. They didn't come to mine.
Well, yeah, 14 people got shot and 4 people got killed.
Yeah.
A little girl got shot.
Yeah.
Both sets knew who the players were in the shooting. They knew it was Southside that did the shooting. So naturally the retaliation is going to start going. So I think the Bloods started it, and then from there, they retaliated because of that and went and shot a couple of Bloods, and it was on. It was on.
What happened was that all the players that were from Compton came back to Compton. And we were told that, hey, you know, Southside was responsible for the shooting of Tupac, so it's coming back to Compton. And what that meant to us, a war was about to start. And sure enough, like 2 days later, it started.
Okay. Now, how many people were killed during this war?
I think in the next 10 days, we had 3 people murdered and I want to say 11 shootings.
All shootings, yeah.
Between Southside Crips and the Mob Piru in Looters Park.
It was a lot of shootings in the neighborhood, our neighborhood. But our neighborhood was mainly, was doing a lot of shooting too.
All hell broke loose, basically.
My homeboy, he wasn't even banging. He was an older cat. He got shot in the back of the head.
Is it Darnell Brim?
Nah.
Okay.
That's one of my older homies that didn't have nothing to do with nothing.
Got it.
This used to be, you know, you might catch him walking down the street late night or something. Yeah, they got at him.
Yeah, there was a guy named Bobby Finch who got murdered.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, there's a guy named Corey Edwards was the actual target. It was a guy that brought Biggie around the Southside Crips. They was C-Rag. And his next door neighbor, Bobby Finch, got murdered by accident. They tried to put that on you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, nothing happened with that. You actually knew Bobby Finch.
Yeah. We used to get into it at Dominguez when we was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You yourself, during that whole situation, did anything happen to you? The war that happened
I'm
right
gonna
afterwards.
tell you. Let me tell you something I ain't told you yet.
Okay.
This is more vicious than all that shit. So check this out. There was a serious attempt made on my life.
Okay.
I had a homeboy named Lonnie Robertson. Fresh out. I used to come through and scoop him. I had moved out the hood. I had moved after they raided and all that. I went and got me an apartment in North Hollywood. So bam. But I would come back and try to get Lonnie up out of there because it's going on. There's shootings going on. It's wartime in Compton. You know what I'm saying? So I would come through and scoop him up and take him to White World with me up to the office and just let him chill and get his function on because he had that type of personality. He knew how to talk to people and make people, he's a good, solid homie, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, one day I came to get him, you know, and we stopped by the house to fuck with Trey for a minute. We in there wrestling and bagging like we little kids still, you know what I'm saying? And so I had hooked something up, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to be going somewhere to have, you know, we got a couple of little, you know, they waiting on us, you know what I'm saying? So bam, we rolling. Rolling through the hood, we get by Acres, a little store in the hood. We see the homegirl Bert. And I already been telling him in the house, ain't no hanging out. If I see the homies, I gave my homie a car just so he could quit hanging out. One of my little homies, you know what I'm saying? Here, man, because he was active. And he walking around, but he active. Man, come on, man. I mean, I know I'm a good dude. But anyway, he convinced me, he said, man, I just want to holler at for a minute. I said, I just told you, homie. So we started arguing in the car. I said, all right, fuck it, all right. You better bring your business. So we pull up in the store. We hollering at Bert. And 5 minutes later, it seemed like the whole neighborhood was at the little store in the parking lot. Whole neighborhood, it ain't the whole, but it was at least 25 people out there. You know, they see us, everybody coming to holler, you know what I'm saying? We chilling, smoking and drinking. And the homie came through and was like, hey, Neckbone, y'all been out here too long. I'm talking to Ted. Ted is, he's Sugar's Free manager, been his manager for a while. They call it Ball Game. You know what I'm saying? Been knowing him since he was a baby. His daddy the one started, when I was telling you Big Teddy, his daddy the one started Mob.
Right.
Not Mob Piru, but Mob. So anyway, which we, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I used to be getting at him because he used to be interested in managing. So he would always come to me and, nigga, I'm finna get a gag to the homies. I love the homies, man. This is my family. This is my family. I ain't got nobody else but my mama and my kids. So anyway, at that time, I took everybody serious. So, we chopping. He telling me he had, girl, what's her name, Doja or something. He got a song done with her and Corrupt and this and that. So I was like, yeah, we'll do this and do that. And then when you do this and do that, I'm getting at him. Because I had just was finna walk up and get in my car. After the homie said, y'all been here a long time, it's time y'all move up out of here. He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, I had just took 2 steps to get in the car because I parked up right by the steps. I took 2 steps to get in the car. Lonnie had went around to get on that side, and then he called me. Lil Ted called me. Ball game, chop. So we chop it. I take 2 steps back up the steps, and I turn around and I'm talking to him. My back is turned to my car. All I hear is back up, 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 back up. Man, everybody ran. Some of the homies ran in the freezer and all that. I'm trying to get the thing from the guy that's working at the store named Ali. He got a little pistol on, he didn't show it to me many times. They was like family to us too, you know what I'm saying? So we back and forth with this pistol, but I'm trying not to pull the trigger. But while me and him going like this, potato chip bags, glass, the sidewalk, everything, pew, 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 all around me. Ain't nothing touching me though. Lonnie, they pulled up. When they pulled up right in front of Lonnie. And they hit Lonnie 14 times.
Damn.
He got hit in the face, I think, 4 times. But they trying to get me though. But my thing was to get Lonnie out the hood. And we was arguing about not stopping. I'm telling him no. You know what I'm saying? This is where I'm coming from. Northridge and all this. To get you out of here. You fresh out, you don't know what's going on. And you my homeboy, I take this homeboy shit serious, man. You know what I'm saying? This gang banging, it ain't nothing but pain, homie. That shit come back to haunt you later on in life. It ain't nothing but pain. I don't care how much work you put in. They gonna get you, they getting at you too. You gonna have to go through the same consequences. And I lost my dog. That was everybody's dog. That was the homie, man, Lonnie Roberson. And another thing, his daddy had got in a shootout with the Compton police in his backyard. About 6-7 months before that or something like that. His daddy got in a shootout. His mama called on a domestic call. Police hit the house. They run in the back. Lonnie daddy start busting on him and hit a couple of them. But they unloaded on him and killed him. You know what I'm saying? They killed that's how his daddy died.
So he died 6 months later?
Then Lonnie, like about 6 months later or something like that, he in this situation with me, and I'm trying to get him out of the hood. Some just keep telling me, go get Lonnie, go get Lonnie, go get Lonnie. And this shit still happen, man.
Did you know who did it? I mean, you know that Southside probably did it, but you know specifically who did that?
It was somebody, man, you know what I'm saying, from the other side. I don't know what hood it was or none of that, but they was coming at me, though.
Yeah.
Because they was somewhere parked in the cut waiting on me to go to my car. As soon as they see me go toward my car, they pulled up, but I had just turned around. Ted saved my life. Because if he wouldn't say, hey, Neckbone, because we was already, I turned around and walked back up the steps to finish talking to him. That's when they came and got off. He saved my life. If it wasn't for that, I'd definitely be dead because they shot like at least 50 times. At least 50. They paused and flipped the clip and started getting off some more inside the store at me. And I'm telling you, everything in the store was blowing up around me. and did not one bullet hit me. But Lonnie was laying on the ground, gone. I didn't even know Lonnie was on the ground. I didn't even know till I jumped in. I went around there to jump in. I jumped in the car and pulled off a little bit because I know the police coming. Because my car is full of bullet holes. That car had so many bullet holes, the car would barely move. I just parked down the street, came, Lonnie was laying on the ground. So they don't even know that about me.
Yeah.
They tried to chop at me too, but God spared my life once again.
I'm sorry for your loss, man.
Man, that's
I'm
my
sorry
dog,
for your
man.
loss.
And people, you know, little kids, man, y'all need to be trying to do something else, man. Cause this gang banging and all this, man, it ain't no winners. It ain't no winners, man. And then you suffer in so many different ways, physically, mentally, habitually, all kind of shit, man. There's all kind of shit where that shit come back and leave you scarred, man. You know, and I know I'm scarred. I'll be the first to tell you. I done been through hell, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the only one. Yeah. Just to close that off, yeah, they tried to get at me too.
Well, Suge had moved his parents to a different part of LA, and you were staying at his old parents' house?
Yeah, me and Trey was staying in.
Right.
That's back when we first got up in there, around the first, when Pac first had got out. That's when I moved up in there. I had an apartment, but I wound up moving in over there with Trey.
Well, you were over there when police raided the house.
Yeah, it was me and Rage was in there together, yeah.
You get arrested.
Yeah, they tore that house up too.
And when they bring you back to the station, I guess, you and Orlando are sitting next to each other, handcuffed?
Yeah. Like when they always showing him getting off the van with the shirt over his shoulders, I was sitting right there. They already had me.
So
I'm
how did
handcuffed.
it feel? How did it feel to be sitting next to the
But
guy?
it was a few other, it felt crazy.
Right, because this is the guy. By that time, did you know it was Orlando?
Yeah.
Okay, because you got back, and at that point, because from what I understand, people started to talk.
Yeah.
People started to brag about it and so forth.
Yeah,
and
they be telling them females, and them females tell everybody.
And there's different theories about that. You know, listen, because I interviewed Keffe at one point. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Orlando might have been the shooter. Big Dre might have been the shooter. Him and Dre were close, and it wouldn't have mattered in that sense because they both do their dirt together.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, generally it was considered that Orlando was the shooter because he had the most reason to do it.
I don't mean nothing though.
True. Do you think Orlando was the shooter?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm just honestly speaking, I don't know who did it on me.
Right.
Because the way the world got it all broke down, you know, when you gangbanging, ain't no breakdown. You just getting down.
Yeah.
You just getting down.
But here you are sitting next to the dude.
Yeah, but so it's for...
You didn't want to headbutt him or something? Or
No, because, you know what I'm saying? But he took Pac though, But you know what I'm saying? I was active, so you know what I mean? But I hear what you're saying, man. But let me see. Was Pac was gone by then.
Yeah, no, Pac was gone.
By the time they raided,
Yeah.
He was
And
gone,
now you're
man.
sitting next to Orlando.
Yeah, there was a few other ones too. It wasn't just me and him. It was a few other ones. And they had all the, the guns and the weed and the money on the table and, all the news cameras. Then like 6 or 7 helicopters in the sky. And they ain't had me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? What they was trying to book me for was the thing, what DJ Quick had got into. Like you said, I wasn't even on the street.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that came back for them to try to feel like they was gonna give me, I'm finna get life and I'll never see the streets again and all that.
Well, later on, Suge ends up paying Orlando to testify for him.
Yeah.
When he was basically violating his probation by being involved in that fight. Yeah. And Orlando took the stand and said, oh no, Suge was trying to help me. And they were like, we don't believe you. And Suge got sent to jail. How'd you feel about Suge working with Orlando after that?
It's business.
It's business. Just try to stay out of prison.
Business.
Yeah. Well, in 1997, that next year, you get arrested again for possession.
I was in Beverly Hills in somebody else's vehicle. I was looking for a place for my little R&B group I had discovered that was from Chicago. Their name was Bugatti. So Suge was like, get them a spot. Everybody up there, get them a spot so we get started on the album, you know what I'm saying? And so everybody tell you I drive crazy. To me, I'm the best driver in the world. But every time somebody get in the car with me, damn, your ass can't drive. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what pulled the police to me when they be like, he was driving erratically, like a motherfucker was gone off something. That's just how I drive, man. I'm trying to get in between these cars, but I'm rolling. Not crazy, like, nothing like that. I guess I got my own way of driving. And it was a plastic bag with like some residue, something stuck to it, and then that's what they brought to court. But in the back seat, on the floor, you had like a Tide washing thing, you know, with the detergent in it, and you could see what had spilt all in the back on the floor, and that's what they were scooping up at the scene. Then when they came to court, they had a bag, and it wasn't even a gram. Because, you know, I had a paid lawyer, so I got all the details. I fought it from the street, because I had got off parole. I was off parole for the third time. Out of 6 times going to prison, I was off parole again. And
Right, but you got 7 years for that?
I took it to jury trial.
And you lost?
Lost. They came out of deliberation in like 15 minutes. They was in there laughing and everything.
Damn. What was the plea deal?
4 years.
4 years.
I knew it was the case didn't carry no time. I went, wow. And then it was a DA reject at first.
Huh.
It was DA reject. And then they found out, you know, the feds went up in there, that's such and such. It's like, oh, okay. They took the deal back and all that. But I'm like, shit, man, what you talking about? I don't know what is that. He ain't mine. Yeah, I fought it all the way, and I thought I was going to.
Yeah. So now you go back to prison.
Back to the penitentiary.
So that happens in 1997.
97, January 97.
In 1998, that next year, Orlando gets killed in a non-related situation.
I heard about it.
It was a fight over some owed money, over a drug deal gone bad. A shootout happened. I think it turned into a triple murder.
Yeah.
One of his homeboys ended up getting like life in prison because his murder got put on him because he was
that's how they do. That's how I go.
I interviewed some of the Compton cops who were involved in going to the scene.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, one of the cops tried to get a death confession from Orlando, and Orlando told him to fuck off too.
Yeah.
He says, hey, they shot Lane. Reggie, he's a supervisor. He starts making decisions. And the person that he talks about, Ray Richardson, all the gangsters call Ray Cameo. So when Ray got to the scene and he saw Baby Lane getting put into the ambulance, he asked him. He said, hey, did you kill Tupac? And anybody in law enforcement knows that would have been a dying declaration. They could have killed the case. If he would have said, I killed Tupac and then he died, case closed, right? But Baby Lane, being a gangster to the end, he said, fuck you, Cameo. And I know this because Ray Richardson told me that. So essentially the last words that Baby Lane spoke were fuck you, Cameo.
So the same way the Pac told the cops to fuck off, Orlando did the same thing.
They looked at something alike. Did you ever
They
notice
actually looked somewhat related. They could have been cousins.
Yeah,
brothers or cousins, absolutely. It's a very, it's two dudes
that rocked the whole hip hop world.
The whole hip hop world who had
similarities in how
who went out the same way, unfortunately.
Yeah, went out the same way.
Almost the exact same way.
Yeah.
Did you feel any level of closure when Orlando got killed?
Nah.
No?
Nah, because it happens all the time. I took so many losses, with homies, and man, you know what I'm saying?
So you didn't feel a certain level of the guy that killed my homeboy Pac is now dead?
Nah.
No.
Nah, because I didn't say that.
You didn't do it.
There you go.
Right.
But hey, that gang world is something else on me. The whole world, you'll never understand it, man.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
After Tupac got murdered,
Yeah.
if you had a chance to kill Orlando, but you knew you would do life in prison over it,
Yeah.
right? Because it's cameras and everything. Would you have done it at that moment, or would you have let him walk by?
And I knew he killed Pac?
You knew he killed Pac, 100%.
Man,
you had a chance to kill him, but you know you're not getting away.
Oh, and I know I ain't getting
away? You know you're not getting away.
Hell no, I ain't doing nothing to that dude.
Okay.
I ain't finna go sit up in this motherfucker all my life.
I got you.
For that. But if I felt, knowing, okay, do that, you finna get life. Nah. But if I ran into him, and it was definite, you know, same way they try to get my homies, same way they got Pac, same way they gonna get got.
Okay. So there could have been a situation where that happened.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, in 2002, Buntry gets killed.
My dog.
Yeah. I interviewed Mob James, his brother, about it. He was crying in our first interview. I don't know if you saw that or not.
If I wouldn't have brought my brother to death row, I wouldn't have put him in the situation. I think about I should have did something to Suge. I should have. I tried to figure out what I could have did, and he'd still be alive.
Yeah, I seen it. That's understandable. That's his brother.
Yeah. Were you and Mob James close?
Me and Mob was cool.
Yeah.
You know, they always, you know what I'm saying? But, and that'd be hurting my heart that, you know what I'm saying? But, Mob.
Well, they said that Suge owed him $1 million at the time he got killed. Is there any truth in that?
Well, it was being said, you know what I'm saying? I was locked up in Bunchy when I used to call Bunchy House, you know what I'm saying, and talk to him, you know, it was Suge, get out, I be getting at him about that million, whoa, 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 you know what I'm saying? I don't know if he had promised it to him, I don't know the exact words that was exchanged, but Bunchy felt motivated, like it was gonna happen, you know, and I was locked up then too, but yeah, he got killed. I'm not saying that's connected to none of that shit, but
well, it was a whole mess that happened.
Yeah.
Hen Dog got killed.
Hen Dog got killed ways in something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heron got killed.
Yeah.
Now, after Buntry got killed, Looters Park and Mob Piru had a falling out.
Well, like I say, get one of us, we're gonna get one of y'all. That's just the rules of gangbang. That ain't even no set rules. That's just how it go. That's just a reflex.
Right. Then in 2003, Poochie got killed. That was one of your friends as well?
Yeah, me and Poochie was, me, Poochie, CJ, and Shady Grady, we was cellies in the county jail way back when I was a youngster. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, he was, you know what I'm saying? They took care of me. But I was doing my thing then too. I was getting my little phase on, going away to visits, and you know, motherfuckers try to rush me in the holding tank. You know, I got out and I just bag up against the wall. I just go swinging. I ain't gonna stop swinging. I done hit a couple police swinging at.
Well, because a year after Tupac gets killed, Biggie got killed. How'd you feel when Biggie got killed?
Well, I ain't feel nothing. I ain't feel nothing.
Yeah.
Because by that time, I ain't even gonna say by that time, I'm just used to murder. I'm just used to murder.
Well, I spoke to a lot of people over the years.
Yeah.
Greg Kading, he feels that Poochie was the one that was hired to kill Biggie. When I brought Poochie's name up to Mob James, he said he doesn't know, but he's the type of dude that he wouldn't be surprised if he was the one. Who do you think killed Biggie?
I think Poochie was involved. I think Suge Knight orchestrated it through his, at the time, girlfriend / baby mama. I think she was the intermediary between Suge and at least one of the co-conspirators. I do believe Poochie was directly involved.
When you hear the theory that Poochie was the shooter, what is your take on it?
Right on.
When you feel people are putting Poochie as Biggie's killer, how do you feel? Someone who you were friends with. And like I said, Poochie's gone at this point.
Yeah. It don't matter if he here or not, you know what I'm saying? It's just sort of shit I ain't gonna speak on, but I'm gonna say this though. He was a hitter.
That's what I heard.
He was a hitter.
How did you feel about so many of the Mob Piru dudes that you were cool with? Like, after Pac died, it just seemed like death row kind of imploded, and a lot of these guys were getting killed and so forth, and going to jail, and it just turned into a mess. These are all your friends, and you're going to jail too.
I grew up with all of them.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
that
you know,
was crazy.
Mob James, I remember he had a shirt showing all the people who passed. It's like a whole filled bunch of people on that shirt.
That was unheard of, because not only was they my homies, they was all homies with each other.
Right.
That's the thing. It wasn't like it was this guy here. They was all homies with each other. I'm in the pen. Every time I pick up the phone, you know, toward the end of my sentence, that's all I'm hearing. I couldn't understand it. Like, what the fuck is going on out there?
You know, Mob James puts a lot of blame on Suge. And, you know, that was his brother, his actual blood brother. So I understand how he feels that type of way.
Yeah.
Do you put the blame on Suge at all? Or is it just things just happen, the money runs dry, people start to turn on each other and so forth?
Well, somewhere along the line, there had to be some type of disagreements with something. Whatever it was, I don't know. But it had to be between this person and that person, these people on this side, these people on that side. And for everybody to be homies all these years and for that to happen, it had to be something hell of a. Now, who was at the head of that? It couldn't have been none of the homies. I don't know if the police was getting at people or what, but it couldn't have been the homies. It had to be because of some shit, not just no, you know, rinky-dink ass shit. It had to be something hell of a serious. And yeah, I felt it. I felt it up in that jailhouse, man. I felt it, you know, like when that shit happened to Bunch, you know what I'm saying? I took off on motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And they was trying to send me through it, you know, but I cried first. I was sad. I was tore. Everybody was like, you gonna be all right? Even the police pulled me in the office. You know what I'm saying? COs like, you know, your brother got killed. Who you talking about? I ain't got no brother or no sisters. Alton McDonald in Compton. So now I got to control myself right there. Because if I start tripping in there, I'm going to the hole, even though I wound up going to the hole anyway, but at least I got something up off my shoulders, you know, but it did bring them back, though.
Yeah.
It never brings them back, and the pain never goes away. That's one thing, man. That pain, with me, that pain don't go nowhere, man. Even with Scar. Scar was my low-riding partner, man.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry for your loss. I remember Mob James was in tears when we were talking about that story with his brother.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And you know, they house, Bunchy Mob, Timmy them house, I was like one of the headquarters for homies. They mama and they sisters and everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Well respected.
Yeah.
And they show love to all the homies. Homie could come over there and you know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I don't understand that, because I don't know the extent to the details, and to be honest with you, I really don't want to know. Because I got my own life and shit that I'm dealing with at 61 years old. I got my own problems and situations that I got to deal with. And a lot of that is because of the pain that I can't get rid of. You know what I'm saying? Just like right now, damn, man, that shit, it seemed like the shit happened 2 hours ago. All that shit is still brand new in my mind, man. That shit hurt.
Well, you get out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, are you pretty much done with anything death row related?
No, I'm at the office. I'm working.
Oh, you're still working?
I get out, Suge them, man, I can hit the halfway house. Suge, they bringing me everything. Money, clothes, all that. But Mob James used to send money up there to me too, through the home girl.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Mom ain't never had no problem, but you know, it's all this bullshit, man. I get sick of it, man. I get sick of it. I don't want to hit it. I'm tired of all this shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you get out, you're cool with Suge, but death row is not the same death row anymore.
Nah.
It's
Suge wasn't out.
Oh, Suge was still locked up? So Reggie was running death row at the time?
No, Reggie wasn't even there.
Oh, okay.
Who was running death row?
Who knows?
No, Reggie wasn't there. No.
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
Right. Death
Norris.
row.
Was Norris still there?
Well, regardless, death row doesn't really have any major artists anymore. Was Crooked I over there?
He was the main one they was focusing on.
But Suge was in jail.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
Well, and then in 2018, as they're working on
but you had a lot of, like Nipsey and all them was coming up. You had a lot of new artists that was coming through.
Oh, new artists were coming by death row and so forth?
Yeah, because they just come, you know what I'm saying? It was
still
like open house.
Row.
It's like open house to the artists. You come up on the second floor, we got the weight room, all chrome weights, you know what I'm saying? Got the little offices where you can sit back and chill. You know, I got a few of the little homies up there, you know, hanging out a little bit. And people still trying to come through and get on.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Then Suge got out. And,
right.
You know, he was trying to put some stuff together, and then something happened between him and Crooked, and he started focusing on Corrupt.
Yeah.
So I used to be at the studio with Corrupt every night and all his homies and all that old shit.
Well, all these lawsuits are happening. Suge ends up losing death row at one point because he doesn't show up to court.
Man, I remember when he came back that night, he was so drunk, he was faded, because I would have been too. I probably would have been worse than him.
Oh, so you remember the day that Suge lost death row?
Yeah, I was there.
Wow.
When he came back to the office, he was in the rose, the black rose he had bought.
I was talking to Whack 100, and
everything Suge kind of like was on a rampage. It was no order. Reg was the voice of reason to Suge. And everything started crashing. I remember reading in the newspaper that death row was lost. I remember them coming with the change that said the row. I remember these things.
Whack wasn't around.
Wasn't he around?
No, when Suge lost death row, Whack wasn't there.
He wasn't?
No.
Okay.
But I had ran into Whack at the Four Seasons though. He was doing something else, trying to get in the game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
Yeah, but he was doing his thing though.
Yeah, shout out to Whack, man. That's the homie.
He was doing his thing, but yeah, he wasn't. Maybe he was there when I was locked up. Then when I got out, he wasn't around no more.
Possibly.
Because I went to the pen a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? But when I got out that last time, he wasn't around because Suge wasn't even on the street.
Well, they're working on the NWA movie. Suge feels that he needs to be compensated for, portraying him in the movie.
Yeah.
He goes out to Compton.
Yeah.
Allegedly to talk to Dre or Cube. Something goes wrong with Bone. A fight breaks out. He's hitting Suge through the window. Suge backs up, hits him, then drops forward, runs him over again, and then hits his friend, Terry Carter, who he comes with. Terry is one of the founder of the Bloods?
No, he original Piru Street, though.
There we go.
He original Piru Street. Bloods is a coalition of different gangs made
Got
into
it.
one.
So he's original Piru.
He's original
Piru. The Piru Street Boys?
Yeah.
That was him.
Them the originals. The
Okay.
Piru Street Boys, the original Pirus. They probably would be in their 70s right now.
You knew Terry?
Yeah, I knew Terry.
Okay.
world-class auto. He had a hydraulic shop. He had all, yeah, I knew. I knew Puddin'.
How did you feel when you heard about that situation and saw the video?
I felt bad for that one.
Yeah.
I felt bad for that one because I knew that was an accident because him and Suge I knew that was an accident. That was an accident, man. You know what I'm saying? It had been a couple of, that didn't happen to everybody. Car back, they might hit the brakes right on time, you know what I'm saying? But if I can't explain it, but I guess if he had his foot on the gas and swinging at the same time, you know what I mean? I don't know. But he definitely didn't try to run over no Terry Carter. There ain't no doubt in my mind, it was all handled back. Sometimes shit just don't get handled right. Everybody want to be hard. Everybody want to be tough. Everybody want to be a killer, man. When sometimes all you got to do is just sit down and talk.
Listen, if you put an old white lady in the car instead of Suge, and you show a video where some guy's punching her in the face, and she runs off, drives off crazy, and ends up killing someone on accident, I don't think she'd be charged with anything. But Suge Knight had such a long reputation of bullshit over and over again that I feel his reputation caught up to him. And they gave him 28 years.
That's what it was. Anytime they had anytime he could spit on the sidewalk, they trying to figure out how to give him life.
Right.
Because it wasn't just that he was Suge Knight, he was an influence to success by black men coming out the ghetto of Compton and coming back, getting his homeboys. Everybody, it's a few people that made it, but ain't nobody came back and got their hood.
I mean, to be fair,
he put criminals on.
To be fair, you have like TDE.
That's later on.
That's later on. Yeah. These guys that come from a similar background.
They all learn from us.
Put on a lot of people, but without all the extra bullshit, without the violence and everything else like that. Yeah. And I know Top.
Yeah.
I've met Kendrick before. I think what they're doing is great. I think they learned a lot of lessons from you guys.
Yeah.
What not to do and how to continue to make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, Suge ends up getting 28 years.
Yeah.
And then that next year, 2019, I do the first sit-down interview with Keffe D.
Yeah.
You watched it?
I remember seeing you. Yeah.
Where he breaks down the whole entire story. Now, keep in mind, before I did the interview, Keffe D had put out a book that was on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I read through the book, and I said, are you willing to talk about the contents of this book? He said, yes. I said, okay, let's go.
This is my book here. I would like you guys to buy it and get the real truth instead of from a cop or some fucking industry people, some bullshit. You getting it from a real motherfucker. So go get the book, and you can get the real truth about this whole situation. Thank you.
He got me in the book for when we played Pop One on the same team.
Right, you're mentioning the book.
Yeah. I told you, we know. It's a trip how small Compton is. People be knowing their enemies, be knowing them. It's crazy.
So he laid out the whole situation of Orlando got jumped. Yeah. They got some guns. This is how they saw Suge and Pac's car. They opened fire. They left, so forth and so forth.
He crazy for that.
When you saw that he admitted to his role in a murder, how'd you feel?
They gonna get your ass. That what you want? You want some attention or whatever? Something ain't right for you to just, man, ain't nobody finna do that. He did it.
Right.
He was getting away with it too. He did a whole lot. I seen him every time I turned around. He's trying to brag on that, man.
Right. I mean, he did VladTV twice. He did Art of Dialogue. I think he did Camp Capone.
Books.
Then
they had him on tape. They got him on tape saying a bunch of stuff.
And so forth.
Man, come on, man.
And then, he was, I saw he became a little more bold during the course of the interviews. He said Pac was like...
He didn't know they was watching him.
He said that Pac was breakdancing when he was getting shot.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah. I thought that was foul as well.
That's wrong.
And then in 2023, Keffe D gets arrested in Las Vegas for the murder of Tupac.
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was surprised.
You were surprised?
Because You never seen no shit like that. But what it was, he thought he had a pass because he had hollered at them folks.
Right. Well, he had a proffer agreement.
That's what I'm saying. He thought he had a pass.
Right. But a proffer agreement is not exactly immunity.
He didn't understand the extent of that proffer.
Proffer agreement is queen for a day.
Yeah.
It applies for that day.
Yeah.
If I tell you, if you're the cops and I tell you about a murder I did during a proffer, you can't prosecute me for it. But if I go and do an interview about it the next day,
admitting to it,
saying the exact same
whether
thing,
he did it or not, which I know
I
he
can't
probably
get
didn't.
prosecuted for it.
Yeah.
Plus, with proffers, you could admit to something and not get prosecuted, but then they could use that information to get someone else to tell on you, and then use that person to convict you with their testimony. You don't generally want to do them at all.
He didn't mean it.
Yeah.
He was just lying.
Yeah. But ultimately, in 2023, Keffe D got arrested.
Yeah.
And on December 19, 2025, he is still in jail awaiting trial. In fact, he got into a fight in the Las Vegas jail, and he got sentenced, I think, 14 months. So I heard he got transferred to state prison for 14 months. And they're waiting for that to go through the process to actually prosecute him for the Tupac murder. And right now they're saying August 12th, 2026. Not sure if it's going to happen. Apparently they have overwhelming evidence. The biggest of which is his own, actually speaking about it. If Keffe D gets life in prison for the murder of Tupac, will that bring any level of closure?
No. Can't bring Pac back.
Did you ever run into Keffe D after that?
Did I run into him? Nah, I used to run into him. The latest I was running into him was when I had Let Me Ride Hydraulics, and the guy that was running Compton Hydraulics, I knew him from when he was working at the junkyard with all the Chevys. And I passed by there coming from hustling all night going to my apartment. I see all them Chevys back there. So one day I just go back there and holler at him, and got cool with him. And so I had opened that shop up. I got the money from Dre and Suge, opened that shop up, hired the homies. And he opened up a shop. I mean, we were still cool. I would go up there and holler at him, get parts from him on certain days or whatever. And I see Keffe D back there in the little brown 6'4" and stuff, but you keep on going. Ain't nobody tripping.
Was that before or after the Tupac murder?
It'd be way before. This is 93.
Right.
It's 93.
So after that, you never saw him again?
Nah, I never seen him after that.
Okay. Well, yeah. The murder trial is scheduled August 12, 2026. And at this point, he's in his 60s. Whatever they give him will probably be life in prison, the equivalent. It's a murder.
Yeah.
It's not a slap on the wrist, plus he has a lot of priors and so forth. Just a bad situation to be in at this point in your life, and I feel it could have been avoided.
It definitely could have been avoided. Right. I don't know what he was thinking.
I think what it was when those tapes got released of him cooperating with Greg Kading.
Yeah.
I feel like he wanted to clear his name, and he wanted to give his side of the story, as opposed to saying, well, I got away with a murder. Let me just be quiet and just
And then everybody that was in the car dead.
Everyone else is dead.
Ain't nobody couldn't oppose. He could just say what he want to say. Ain't nobody finna say nothing different because they all dead.
Exactly.
So yeah, he thought he had a freebie, but he didn't.
Yeah. Do you still talk to Trayvon Lane?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys still cool?
That's little bro. We're gonna always be cool. That's my little man. Yeah, that's the man. That's the homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been out here working. I had the job at the DMV for 15 years.
Okay.
So I stayed low. I stayed low. I still was going into the hood about the first 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I still was going to the hood. I used to go up to the Brothers of the Sun on Fridays and Saturdays. It'd be a little bit of everybody up in there, but it'd mostly be from the other side be in there. I used to go up there and party all the time, you know what I mean? I hang in the hood a little bit and I'd be gone. But about the last 4 or 5 years, I ain't been seen because I just been trying to lay low, man, and just live, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm about to pop back out because I ain't got that job no more. But, that's like the type of job where you can't be mixed up. And what wound up happening is, through all the talking and my name and this and that all over the place, he came down on me up there, you know what I'm saying? They just started tripping on me. I got like 40-something write-ups in 7 to 8 months.
Damn.
But they was telling me they wasn't write-ups. It's just this is a memo, this or that. And then one day I went, he had a big old envelope. Talking about, here go all the write-ups. The lawyers from the state, they want to take 20% of your check. They're going to be filing this and filing, man. I got into it with them a few times. The police rushed up in there. People from next door is working because they driving me crazy. My mama was in and out the hospital then, having heart attacks and stuff. And they sweating me and getting on me, so I'm blowing up on them. And then they calm down, and they come back, calm down. So it never went to that extent again. These write-ups. Every day I come to work. Hey, boss, can I hold for you a minute? Go in the room. He shut the door. It's another write-up, but he's saying it's not a write-up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just got sick of that, man. So I had called CalPERS, you know what I'm saying, the retirement people, like, how much money I got up in there, man? They said, whoop. I was like, okay, cool. I went back and I quit. And I retired. Just to be relieved of that stress, because it got too stressful going to work as to where I was cool, because I would be cool with the customers, I was cool with the employees, but all of a sudden, every day, these two bosses is just on me.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know what I'm saying, I retired. So I've been laying low trying to get moms back, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't got to worry about getting fired or nothing like that, because I ain't got the job no more, so I can do what I want to do now, because I had the type of job. You know what I'm saying? Once you put the eye on me, they was tripping.
Well, Neckbone, man, I appreciate you coming in doing your first ever interview with me.
Yeah.
You know, I've always heard the name for years and years.
Yeah. Got to feel some of this pain over here I'm walking around with. You know?
Look, a lot of people feel that I helped solve the Tupac murder in a way. At the end of the day, I didn't solve anything.
Nah,
law enforcement's the only one that could actually solve it, but I was the first person to actually bring the actual story to light, because I felt that there was too many conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Oh, Suge had Tupac killed. Oh, it was the government.
Nah.
Tupac's still alive in Cuba.
Yeah.
No.
Still saying all that too.
Pac is gone, and the chain of events that happened.
Pac was a good dude, man.
Were tragic, man. And that was
Yeah,
someone I've never met.
Yeah.
But that was your homeboy.
Yeah.
You got mentioned in the song.
Yeah. He was pushing, he wanted the neighborhood to be just up there, out there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't understand, we on a whole different level. We got to kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because the boys is on us. So it seemed like, you know, he was trying to push it to where he was, you know, but I never looked at him. He was just Tupac. And I had all the respect in the world for that alone. He didn't have to put no mob tat on him. He didn't have to be from the hood, because he was Tupac and he already had props from me to the fullest, because he put it down by himself. So he didn't need all that.
Yeah, and I just feel like this whole thing is just a learning lesson.
Yeah.
Where had he not rushed Orlando that night,
it's trying to catch him, man.
Pac would be a movie star right now. He might be into politics.
Pac probably
he would have kids,
man.
Maybe even grandkids.
Gotta understand, Pac went up with 20-something years old.
He was 20, 25, 26.
25?
Let me see.
He was still a baby, man.
Yeah, Pac was 25 years old. 25.
Still a baby. He was representing a whole lot of positive stuff, though, man.
Yeah.
But he felt like he wanted to be down.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do none of that. And we used to tell him all the time, chill, homie.
Well, Neckbone, man, appreciate it. And,
appreciate it too, man.
Wish you all the best, homie. That's what it is.
Wish you too, man. I appreciate that, man.
No doubt.
I got to get something off my chest.
Yep. Till next time.
Next time, homie.
Peace.
Peace.